Greetings and welcome to RPGs Uncovered. We are back for episode 5 now of our Cyberrats demo play miniseries, Corpo-Rat Shills. For anybody just joining us, because I know I picked up a number of followers, and the Whip Workshop creator interview series is going pretty well. So if you are just following us for our main RPGs Uncovered series, this is a series dedicated to showing just how quick and easy it can be to learn a new TTRPG. And we do that through bite-sized tutorials, a main learning the video stream, and now a demo play mini-series, which we are about halfway through with. Today is going to be a big episode, so I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. We'll fit in all the big announcements about where we can find everything that we are doing towards the end. So please stick around for the outros because I want to get through all of this. Big main story mission today. The only thing I will say in the beginning of this is we have a number of ways that you can help support the show. One of which, the free way, super helpful, is just go out and tell people about the show, tell people we're live, tell people we're awesome, have them come in. I love hanging out with the community. We've actually had a fantastically active and wonderfully interesting chat for this series, and I am loving it. So help bring people in. Another way you can help out is to head over to our Ko-Fi. There should be a link down below. That will get you that will unlock after shows that we do at the end of every show. We have different bits of player side and GM side notes and extras and tips and whatnot. I put all of my notes on there. We have character sheets and all kind of extra goodies on there for various support levels. And most notably, for while you're watching the show today, we have the Mayhem meter. Last week we actually filled the Mayhem meter, and that's what caused one of the amusement rides in our carnival to explode and go tearing through the party at devastating speed, and they managed to evade that quite well. But today I have some really cool plans for the Mayhem meter. So that is also a link down below. Every $50 that is donated unlocks that Mayhem meter. That means something just insane is going to happen. Some big, momentous, crazy mayhem event that will usually be a problem for the players in some aspect, but I also try to give them some boons in some regard. So all kinds of crazy stuff can happen. The only way you'll know is by donating, and most importantly, anything donated through the Mayhem meter gets split up between this fantastic cast here, and that is what is helping support them for their time and creativity and being awesome. And if you want to join in on the show but can't spend anything on the Mayhem meter, we have free channel points that can buy these guys extra dice and can airdrop cool items. I think that is enough rambling on for myself. You are already here watching me, so I don't need to tell you where I am. Let me throw it over to my amazing guests to tell them just a little bit about themselves and who they are playing, and then we're going to jump in on the action. So let's pass it over to Mr. Cyberrats himself. Alex, thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me. I am Mr. Cyberrats. You can find me on Twitter, Alexander the Fine, and after the show, I will have a request for you to help me shape the future of Cyberrats. I'll save that for later.
Awesome. Q, while I get your face in the hexagon properly, tell us about yourself and what you're doing today.
Hi, I'm Q. Midnight underscore Inc. That's INQ on Twitter. I'm just out here being on the internet. I have some other things. We'll talk about that later. I'm excited to get into the game today.
Awesome, and I finally fixed your name on Nightbot.
Oh yay! I'm not dead anymore.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Also, somebody who is not dead, Aaron. Not yet. We'll see about this mission.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm a performer and game designer. You can find me on Twitter or on itch.io at Veil's Edge Games. And yeah, check it out.
All right, and rounding out our operatives for today, JD.
Hi, I'm JD. I am a player and sometimes GM, and you can find me on socials at JD, not Jason Dean. And that's all I'm going to say, because I just want to dive in and see what's about to happen.
Yes, indeed, we are going to dive in. We open our action with the camera falling at breakneck speed out of the sky as we see our 4 Cyberrats in their flight suits, their squirrel suits, dive bombing out of our tactical blimp over top of a volcano. We see this spread out island, like a miniature Hawaiian island with this large, what looks to be an active volcano in the center. You can see lava deep in the caldera boiling away. You can see this faint wafting of smoke and steam and probably toxic gases emanating from the inside of this volcano. And amongst all of that, you can see this, what looks to be almost a Chrysler building style skyscraper suspended by big heavy cords in the center of this caldera, hanging over the active, boiling lava underneath. The top of this facility, unlike the Chrysler building, I should say, it doesn't come to a point. It does come to a relatively flat upper deck, roof, whatever you want to call it. Normally, there would be a section there for a helipad. In fact, it is still there. The only problem is it is laden with turrets and sensor technology and whatnot. Fortunately, you have your stealth dive suits on, and you know you can't land on that roof without just being turned into Swiss cheese. But you can dive down deeper and deeper into the caldera of this volcano, grab on to the side of the building, slide and scurry your way down to one of the geothermal access vents at the very base of this suspended tower. And after a short wait, there is a burst of heat and steam and noxious gases that erupt from this vent. And after a short time later, you can crawl inside once it has cooled down enough. You scurry inside this geothermal excess vent to a grate. And as you are setting up your breaching charge, we hear from the interior, "Warning, warning. Blockage detected in geothermal vent 3. Warning, warning." And the camera slides through the grate of that vent out into what looks like a power plant. Almost a Star Trek engineering level type reactor set up in there, with large glass tubes that are filtering some sort of heated liquid bubbling away like a lava lamp of some kind. Various large clanking, steaming, hissing machines. And walking around one of them, we see this rat swarm lab technician in this what looks to be like a leather lab coat, because bad guys wear leather. And it walks over to this accent vent, this excess vent, which is currently, a warning is blaring over top of it, and it leans in to examine the problem. And the vent explodes inward, sending shrapnel and piles of rats scattering in various directions as our 4 Cyberrat operatives clamber out and into the power facility of the Valdivian Research and Development sector. Let me ask, first and foremost, who is with us?
Hank is absolutely here. Not only do I not have a choice, he would want to go anyway. So he's like the first through, just sword at the ready.
All right, we have Hank. And we are starting in the middle of the action. My players actually don't know too much about this mission, so if you would like to know more about this mission, I can actually have Fruit Chew jump in. Let's have Fruit Chew come in over the comms as we see Hank climbing out of the vent, smoke clearing as we see another gloved hand reach out, and we'll see who emerges. Over your comms together, sort of coming through in a static, just barely making through. Whatever interference may be interfering, whether it's generated from the building itself or the volcano, what it may be. It's going to be difficult to maintain comms while you're inside this facility, but Fruit Chew, the tactical blimp pilot, comes over your comms. Good work, Cyberrats. Remember, that vent will quickly begin to heat up and won't purge again for an hour and a half. You need to complete your objective and hold the roof for evac. Psionic recon suggests the Custodian is only a couple levels above you, but intel indicates that the level is only accessible via an admin elevator in the COO's office at the very top of the facility. You'll first need an admin's ident badge to access the admin sector. Happy hunting, rats. So to break down the mechanics of this for the players and the audience, because this is a demo play, obviously this is a mission targeting Valdivian. Your main objective is to extract a VIP or the necessary information, which specifically is the interloper mothership's orbital coordinates and the shield harmonic frequency. That is information that this Custodian person seems to have on him. He's some sort of living data bank for Valdivian. It is located at the volcano base, and I will warn you right now that you have no more time to prepare for it, that this mission is deadly. Threat level increased by 1. So it's probably a good thing that you reduce the threat level by 2. But now I will jump back to the rest of the group. Who do we see climbing out of our exhaust vent now?
After Hank, Ash just sort of crawls out. She's sort of large for the vent, and so like is just squeezing her way out. But then she gets out and huffs a modified Lucretia, which now can shoot lasers.
Yes. Who's next?
AD, take it away. I'm still deciding.
I was gonna wait on you, Alex, because that was going to somewhat depend. But I think if I'm being given first choice, I think we then see Hayden climb out.
All right.
And so they are here to join their cyborg brother in this mission.
All
I think
right.
that means it's going to be Nibbles.
Nibbles.
Be a hacker.
Yep.
Correct.
Going in the niche.
All right. So before we got started, I handed out a whole bunch of goodies that these guys have distributed amongst themselves, and we're gonna get right into this. So this exhaust vent explodes outward, sending shrapnel and this rat swarm flying across the room. Now, this is a big room. The whole base of this tower looks to be one large reactor room. That's probably a good 4 stories high or so, and quite wide. There's not really any walls or partitions in this large reactor space, but there is a number of machines that can provide obstacle or cover and block your view. But you would know that you need to make your way up into the from here, you're going to need to make your way up into the research levels of this base and find yourself an admin of some kind, either a person or a key card, whatever it may be, that will allow you to unlock the admin elevator and actually make your way down to the Custodian's lair. In this room, you don't hear an immediate alarm going off other than the alarm for the blockage in the vent. That is now winding down that the blockage, has been cleared from the vent. You do, however, notice 2 turrets, one towards one corner of the room and the other just peeking above a piece of machinery on the other side of the room, activate and swivel in your direction. Feel free to ask any other questions about the environment or suggest things if it's cool. I always love throwing it in, but starting right in the thick of it, player phase. Somebody go.
Okay. Are they're close? Are we in the close range right now?
One of the turrets is near range, the other turret is far range on the opposite side.
Mm,
It's a big
Ooh,
building.
got it.
Can I go before anyone starts charging in?
Go for it.
Jeez.
Please.
Because otherwise there'll be a lot of collateral damage.
I will also remind you, explosive person, you are in a power reactor.
Oh,
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure
Jack,
it's
why
fine.
do you do that to us?
Yeah, maybe not. You know what? Go charge in.
Okay. Um, okay. So yeah, I think what we're gonna do, uh, I think we're gonna get close to the first turret.
All right.
Um,
Is that an action
so
to move up to that turret?
yes.
Awesome.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get up. Uh, so Hank is currently decked out in this mechanized like exosuit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's geared up and ready to go. And he just sort of samurai pulls his sword and is just gonna go swing up at the turret. And it's got this wild blade that has energy that strikes out at the turret.
All right. Yeah, so you upgraded your sword to an arc sword. And yeah, let's make an attack against this turret. What are you using for
Fantastic.
that? I'm assuming smash.
Smash, absolutely.
All right.
The exosuit make me strong. So
Yes. Yes, it does.
uh-huh. All right, so we got +1 to smash. My sword is precise. We got another extra die. Do we have keen on that bad boy?
No.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to roll smash. Hiya!
Keeping with those
That
full
was
successes. Okay, that is a full success. How much damage are
yeah.
you dealing to this mech?
So many damage. Okay. Let's see. Do. Oh, yeah, Henry. Come on back. All right. So that is a base of 4 + 1. So 5, double 10.
Okay. Yeah, because you have the
I've got brutal.
brutal. Yeah. Okay. You charge in and just samurai slash. Excuse me. And just take this turret out. One swing, it is gone.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. And you said the other one was far. The other turret was far.
The other turret was far from where you began, and the other one was near from where you began. So it is now technically four movement bands away.
Mm. All right. Can anyone else get the other turret, or do I need to go beep boop? I can, if you need.
Can use some smaller explosives.
I mean, sure. I mean, your laser will probably be fine, right? Just go pew, pew,
Uh,
pew,
I am going
pew, pew,
to
pew.
go move one range band so that I'm near to it, and
Okay.
then do big boom to do 3 damage.
Okay. Big boom. Something has changed on these character sheets.
All right.
Okay. Big boom. All right, that is one of your powers.
Mhm.
Cool. You do notice as you activate this ability, it costs not 1 but 2 biotech.
Oh no, this again.
Uh,
Mm.
But it also deals it creates a smoke bomb around basically I get 1 cover.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. I don't see that in the description you have
Oh no,
noted here, but
that's my passive.
okay.
I'll
Okay, cool. Yeah, 2 biotech down, big boom that does 3 damage to the other turret, 3 harm to the other turret, I should say. Awesome.
Nice.
All right. What else do we have? That turret is still up.
Nibbles will go here. I've been wanting to try this. It's at far range.
It is at far range, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to use my brand new plas gun. I'm gonna try and calculate exactly how to do this with a cyber check, and I'm just gonna try and blast it with a cyber of 4.
Okay. That is a success. You lose 1 biotech because of the cyber complication. You are going to do your damage. We'll resolve the complication after we see if this turret survives. How much damage are you dealing?
16.
Well, yeah, that's gone. All right, that is out of it.
Jesus.
Yeah, that gun's dope.
What?
Also, this is just a straight beam, so it hits someone at close, near, and far if there were.
Right. Yeah, so I think the complication we see here, actually, you have this beam cannon that you are just blasting out, and it's a wide beam, and you do actually catch the top corner of at least 1, maybe 2 pieces of large machinery and blast into it. The turret at the far end just explodes in this cacophony of sparks and metal and smoke, and the shrapnel goes flying. You also hear a loud, cacophonous screeching of another somebody down here, probably another rat swarm technician, just vaporize. And between the energy beam and the exploding turret, there is a secondary explosion as another one of these power regulation, geothermal regulation machines detonates. It explodes. The facility is rocked, and you can actually feel it rock because it is suspended by beams at the center of this volcano. So you get that shifting of the entire facility, and then warning lights start going off. It doesn't look. It's not. It looks like they're the yellow emergency, something has gone wrong in engineering lights. Not necessarily the red alert, the base is under attack lights, but your awareness is going up. All of the pieces of machinery down here do as well have the explode tag on them. None of you were in close range to this, so you don't get a harm, but your awareness meter is going up by quite a lot.
Okay.
All right, I guess we go loud.
I mean, maybe it's fine. Maybe they just will think everything started exploding at once. That happens, right? Right?
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Yeah, no, not
It's
really.
generally not the idea.
Yeah, no, I think they have like protocols to make sure that it doesn't happen like that. But You know,
computers, it happens quite often.
we're here. Yeah, yeah, Nibbles. It
I'm
sure does.
sure.
No.
So you
Uh,
can see as you fan out throughout this facility, throughout this power level, you can see there are a number of other various technicians and workers down here, but you don't see any active guards other than the turrets, and you can see an elevator off to one side.
Okay. I'm going to pop my adrenal shunt, which means that I ignore the next source of harm that I would take. And then I'm just going to reload. And that's me.
Perfect. Now, when the elevator falls while we're in it because we caused explosions in the building, you'll be fine.
Yes, that's the idea.
Wait, are we expecting the elevator to fall?
Uh, you always expect it. You just kind of hope that it doesn't happen, you know?
I
Yeah.
Just
don't
like on
usually
3V.
expect it. Yeah, no, I don't expect that.
I'm
Next.
expecting it more than I was expecting it 15 seconds ago.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. So, should we?
Let's
Go.
go.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
We definitely should. So you said that there are workers in here?
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone. We'll just make this easy. Anyone here in admin? Anybody one of the uppity ups? Anybody got access to the good stuff?
You call forth a bunch of workers and get them all off to one side, and they do stand there with their arms up. Humans, rat swarms, cyborgs, whole diverse crowd down here. They all just stand there nervously looking at each other.
Listen, it'll be really easy, and you'll be safe because we don't want to hurt you. You're just working here, you know, right? You're just trying to make a buck. So, if anyone has the answers I'm looking for, or can point me in the right direction, that would be great.
One of them does step up. A large brute of a rat, large 10-foot tall rat. I don't believe anyone here is we're not. You need to go up.
You gotta go up. All
You gotta
right.
go up. We just make the power work.
All right.
They kind of
Yeah,
leave us
okay,
alone.
Tiny. All right, Tiny. We like you. Thank you for your help. All right, gang.
Yeah.
Also, hey. Shh. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone asks, everything just started exploding.
Right. You're fixing the problem. Appreciate it.
Right.
Right.
Right. Hugh, do you have an action left?
I do.
You do. Go ahead and make me
Oh, wait, hold on. I moved.
You moved and you attacked. Yeah, you moved and you
And I
attacked.
attacked.
Yeah.
So technically, no.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of the talking here, but don't have the action economy right now. I will say combat in this room is largely over. You still have to get to the elevator and access the elevator.
Right.
Well, what I'm getting at is that somebody could make a roll to try to convince these guys to stay quiet in whatever means, persuading them, threatening them, knocking them out, gagging them, whatever it may be. If you want to take the time to actually do something to keep these guys quiet, or you can continue, head to the elevator, and just head up. Time or risk.
Think we get to the elevator. I don't think that there's so much discretion left here.
Yeah, but we don't need people actually like ratting us out.
Right.
So
We
does
could tie
anyone
him
else?
up. We
We
could
don't have
like
to tie him up. We don't have to tie him up. We can just leave him as is. So like, okay, all right, Jack, hear me out.
All right.
If I use a power, like if I spend biotech, um, will you allow me to like effectively intimidate them into um just like doing what I say?
What power are you using?
Somebody's gonna get hurt, but probably one of the humans that looks like an asshole.
Hmm.
um I'm gonna do on the run.
Okay. Yeah, so I think while you're talking with this one really nervous giant rat, you notice somebody behind him. Maybe this was coordinated purposely, you're not sure, but a much smaller person behind this big guy is slowly
Mhm.
moving towards a big red button, and he's just about to smack it.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be zip, just foot to chest.
Yeah,
Um,
foot to chest, he goes flying against the wall, hits his head, falls to the floor.
right. I'm assuming that costs 2 because
It costs,
we
yeah,
an
one
extra
more than
one.
it
Got it.
otherwise would.
Gotcha. All right. So, like I said, we keep it hush hush, yeah?
Hush, hush. Guys, hush.
Fan-
Hush, hush.
Fantastic. Tiny, tie that one up. We don't want him getting you in trouble, yeah?
Do you have any rope?
Oh yeah, of course. Just
Okay. He,
always.
he shrugs and just sort of scurries up and grabs the rope and starts just wrapping this guy up.
Thanks,
All
big
right.
guy.
We
Appreciate it.
gotta
Now we can
go.
go.
Bye. It's
Wh-
been a great time. Remember to tip your waiters.
Can we make sure this place doesn't explode?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yes, please do.
Courage it.
Yeah.
And you all rush to the elevator.
Yeah.
All right. You don't have access to this elevator. It's not the admin level super encrypted elevator, but you need to get in there. The doors don't automatically open up when you walk in. You could try to rip your way in. You could try to hack your way in. How are you getting into this elevator?
Nibbles. I mean,
Nibbles, you wanna
you're good at
hotwire
this
this
stuff.
thing?
Yeah.
You're asking me for help?
Nibbles
you're
just
good at
opened the
this.
door.
Of course, yes. Yeah,
Gosh, be
I'm
nice
gonna
to
hack it.
Nibbles.
Hey, that's a 6 on my cyber check.
All
Hey,
right.
let's go.
Hey.
Another full
It's Nibbles
success.
time.
A short time after a few wire chews, the door whoosh, opens up and you can make your way into the elevator.
Yeah. Come on
Uh,
in.
so you can see there's a lot of floors to this elevator to this building, but you can see they are mostly clearly labeled. It doesn't look like there are there are floors above the research level, but this elevator doesn't seem to get there. You see a few more engineering levels that are basically just marked maintenance 1, maintenance 2, storage, all kinds of air supply and geothermal regulation, whatever it may be. There's a whole bunch of engineering levels. Then there's a whole bunch of research levels, many of which are just cubicles or labs. There is one labeled as experimental tech and one labeled as isolated testing.
What do we think?
Hmm. Uh, tech or isolated testing?
Accents.
Or the isolated testing? Gotta have admin access for that, yeah?
I don't know what isolated testing means, but I know experimental tech is really cool.
That's true. Also, I think, yeah, let's go experimental tech. Sounds great. Also, um, it feels like really hard to use, my little brain, my brain good stuff. So like, be careful of that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll come across that guy that they have out here causing that, and we can get rid of him.
Oh right, it's a person. Yeah, fuck him. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, why haven't we done something about this yet?
I don't know where he is. I imagine if we find him, it's just yeah, there's that.
Yeah, you could just kick him.
That's true. Experimental tech. Let's do this.
So let me ask, did anyone here pick up that new psionic power I awarded you guys?
I did.
You did.
I did.
All right.
Yes, Hayden.
So, Hayden, passively, you have a sort of psionic radar, this SIDAR that you can, emanate out from you. And you can pick out all the little workers down there that are now slowly going back to making sure this place doesn't explode. But you can detect just at the very top of this facility, probably the next floor up, is an extremely powerful psionic signature. Very powerful psionic signature. But it doesn't look like it lines up to any of the floors labeled on this elevator.
All right,
But-
so the good news is the workers are doing what they're supposed to,
Right.
from everything I could tell. The not so good news is there's something doing something weird with psionic stuff, but I can't figure out quite where they are.
Is that the curator?
Might be. I couldn't say, but it seems like something we should probably check out.
What if the curator and the little guy are the same person? That would fucking suck.
Get your info right, rats. It's the custodian, not the curator.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, same thing. It's
Ugh.
fine.
Yeah. They're both taking care of something. It's the janitor now. Call him the janitor.
All
All
right.
that. Okay, so we were still going to experimental tech.
All right, experimental tech. You get in the elevator, you press the button, you turn around, and you find a med pack attached to the wall.
Nice.
Courtesy of who dropped that airdrop? I believe it was Chloe.
It was
So
either-
somebody can take a med pack.
I've got one already.
I've
Got
got one
Hayden's back.
already.
Yeah, I've got one
Nibbles.
as well.
I don't
Nibbles.
have a
Nibbles.
med pack.
Nibbles.
Oh, okay, so it was Muse.
It was Muse, awesome. Yeah, it doesn't show who redeems channel points.
Right. I was like, what the hell? So yeah, I believe it was Muse.
Cool, awesome. I've offended Chloe. Now Chloe's going to leave us. Oh well. No, sorry, Chloe. Sorry, Muse. Cool. Medpack going up to experimental technology. As the elevator rises, Hayden, you can sense there are a vast number of individuals in this facility. It's a big facility. There are a lot of people. Most of them barely ping on your new Psyduck radar. But as you are approaching experimental technology, you do sense dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of little tiny, very psionically active minds. And above you, probably in the testing area, the isolated testing, you pick up some more larger, stronger, but more individual signals of psionic powers. But the door slides open, and you are met with a long hallway, and to either side there are a number of doors, each of which are these fairly heavy doors, and some of them have green lights above them, some of them have red lights above them. There are three on each side of the hallway.
What do you think the green and red lights mean?
Locked and unlocked, I guess. You're like,
That's smart.
Let's try it out. I try to open one of the green ones.
Okay. You head over to the first green lit door over there. It is. The door does not automatically open. It does look like it is locked.
oh, well, I guess not.
I mean, don't like red lights flash when things are bad, so could it mean like safe and not safe?
Safe, not safe, occupied, unoccupied.
Hank, you want to
Same
kick
thing,
one of
right?
these doors in?
I mean, we can certainly try. Um,
Yeah, these are big,
yeah,
like, bulkhead doors. I mean, Hank, being a buffed out cyborg, could probably crouch down and might be able to just rip one up with his hands.
yeah, sure. Or I could try and laser sword it open.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's go for that.
All right.
Just go that. Just gonna like shove it in and like see if we get like a little pop and it'll open or something. We'll see.
Do the Jedi lightsaber opens the
Yeah.
door trick. All right.
Uh-huh.
Um, I mean, the way you describe it, using pinpoint laser action to pop the lock sounds a lot more sly than Smash to me.
I mean, sure.
All
We
right.
can do that, I guess.
Roll me a sly then.
Okay. We had downtime dice. Yeah, we had downtime dice. I'm gonna use that.
All right.
Yeah, because that seems like a thing that I should do. Okay. All right. Let's go, baby. Hiya.
Ooh.
Downtime die for the win.
Oh,
Heck
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, 331, and there's the 5. Continuing your unmitigated success. You plunge your new arc blade into the door, it heats up a bit, and soon there is this sizzling popping sound, and then whoosh, the door slides open. And inside, you can see yeah, this is experimental tech. Inside, you can see that there is a laboratory that is. There's a bunch of machines that are off to the back wall and a few workers that are off to the side. And then you see two boxes, cage-like. They're see-through, but they're sort of metal barred cages, and on the inside you can see these writhing masses of rats, and their eyes are glowing slightly purple, and they are situated in front of what looks like it almost looks like one of those dog training obstacle courses with the various hoops you can jump through and ramps and things that you can climb through, except they are all wrapped in this sort of Tesla coil like device. Some of them are emitting this purplish glow, some of them are sparking with electricity. You can see there are plates on some of the ramps that look like they act as pressure pads or something. And as the door opens up, the researchers off to one side turn, gasp, and then activate something as you walk in the door, and you can see the boxes open up, and these rats begin pouring out of these boxes. I will say that counts as one of your actions, Q, for this player phase.
Perfectly fine. Oh, well, this feels bad. The rats are coming out at us, yeah?
It looks like one of the rat swarms immediately went to start the obstacle course, whether they notice you or not. The other one is starting to coalesce in a vaguely humanoid form, as you have seen, obviously, others take, and looks more
Gotcha.
intent in your direction.
Aha. don't love that. The researchers, do any of them look important? Like, is any of them wearing like a leather, like a leather lab coat, like shinier than the others?
No, not in here.
Okay. Oh, wrong room.
What range is the
Yeah.
rat? The rat. What range are the rat swarms at?
Both rat swarms are at near range.
All right. Should I just shut this down? Seems like they don't want us here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
She just aims Lucretia at one of the rat swarms, and just like hefts it and
All right. These rat swarms do have keen 1, so knock a die off of that pool.
okay. I am going to. No, I'm gonna save that for later. Yeah, I'll just put -1 extra dice. All right.
What do we got? 3 on the smash test. All right. This is Lucretia. That's your explosive rifle, correct?
Yes. So let me. So it has boom, burst, knockback, greedy. So I get to make another attack as part of this action.
All right.
Yeah.
Beam, but I can only hit one of them. Lethal and sticky.
Oh boy. All right. I'm giving you guys too much script, apparently. Let's resolve all of that before we deal with consequences, just to see what I still have left operational in this room. So this first attack, what does all of that nonsense do? Tally that all up for me.
Okay, so it deals 4 harm. And then 1 harm to all creatures close to that.
All right.
Then that they also get knocked back 1 range band.
Okay.
And then they also can't move on their turn.
Okay. Sure. Why not? You do notice, however, that when these explosive rounds explode, a good number of the rats inside both of these swarms immediately turn their head in your direction. The eyes glow purple, and you notice that you start glowing purple just a little bit. And these rat swarms have the favored ability, so when they are attacked, they apply the painted condition to you. You hit 2 of these rat swarms, so you are painted twice.
Oh, that's not good.
And painted, of course, means that when you take damage, you take an extra 1 damage. I believe is how that works.
Let's try
take
and clear
+1
these
harm
out
from all
fast.
attacks, and it does stack. So you have 2 painted on you. So any attacks that go in your direction do 2 more harm.
Okay. Now that I knocked the first one back, can I line the 2 rats, the 2 swarms up for a beam attack?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna fire again as part of that action.
Is that another 3?
It is.
That's another 3.
Okay. So you lose another 1 HP. but it does hit both of these now because they're in a line.
And yeah, all that same stuff happens. They get knocked back again. They still can't move. One harm to everything nearby, and it's a 4 harm weapon.
All right. So you are painted twice more. You now have 5 stacks of paint on you. 4 stacks of paint on you. And the first rat swarm you hit and was knocked back. The second bombardment of explosive rounds just sends that rat pile scattered throughout the back of the room. The other one, however...
So it also has boom, so if it dies, it
does.
deals... how much more damage? All close creatures take 2 harm. An additional 2 harm.
Okay. That would take out the other rat swarm, which then also explodes. Okay.
And then I'm gonna just use my remaining action to back out of the room. I don't feel safe in here.
Yes, so basically you just carpet bombed this entire obstacle course training facility room, which seemed to have live electrical and psionic technology, plus who knows what in there. And you scatter just a whole bunch of explosive rounds throughout this room. They explode and not only detonate and catch the rat swarms, but also detonate and cause secondary and tertiary explosions from all the technology in this room. So you take the 2 HP damage from both of those smash actions. The awareness meter is immediately filled up. I'm not even going to bother trying to track it anymore. It is immediately filled up, and you can hear red blaring alarms start going off through this entire facility. That was just the consequence of the awareness action. This whole room here explodes. You see a chain reaction of explosions as it hits that sort of coil of sparking sort of Tesla coil obstacle, and it erupts in this blue electrical flame that completely just vaporizes the scientists off to one side and throws the other 4 of you back flying against the far wall of the hallway as you are blown clear from the door of this facility. You are all going to take 1 HP damage straight through all your defenses.
Hey, hey, Ash, how you looking, bud?
Decent right now. That was maybe not the best move I've ever done. Tactically.
Yeah, I'd say.
Let's change our tactics.
You got like a not explodey gun.
No, this is what I do.
You Lucretia. Got it. Yep.
Threat level is now up to 3.
Threat level?
I'm sorry?
Oh.
Don't
Miss
like
Guzzi?
that.
Miss Guzzi? What's this threat level increase? What do you mean?
It's almost like when alarms go off, the facility sends their more upgraded soldiers to deal with the incursion.
No. It's not. No.
It's just a whole bunch of scientists in here. What are they gonna do? Hit you with clipboards?
I mean, yeah, probably. It wouldn't do much, but they might.
But just because you were blown clear from the room does not mean that we are out of our action economy yet.
Right.
So who still has action to go on our player phase?
I do.
So there's Nibbles, and I have 1 left.
So this room is a smoking crater. at this point. You can see that the floor, ceilings, and the walls are very heavily enforced, so it's basically just this exploded out metal box at this point, but it hasn't blown any openings anywhere. There are 5 more rooms left down this hallway.
Should we just try another one and see how that goes?
I mean, maybe we gotta find someone who's got, a key or something.
Yeah, we can't go up any further.
Right. And we kind of need that. Well, we could go up to isolated testing, but that seems. But yeah, so
I mean, do we really think that's worse than here?
no, definitely not. So yeah, try a room. Let's see. Pick a room, any room. I'm sure it'll be fine.
We also have an action die that I believe is up for grabs to whoever wants it. And another airdropped item. So somebody can take that action die.
Okay. Ash.
Okay, sure.
For reasons.
And flying out
The
of
explosions are only gonna get
that room along with you guys as you slam back against the wall and slump down to the floor, you see rolling out of that room a bioinjector.
Cool. I'm gonna take that one because we're gonna need to do some hack and move, probably. Do you need it?
All yours. I mean, I'm not fighting
Yeah,
you
it's all
for it.
yours.
Okay. One bioinjector. Oh yeah.
I will also say, as far as the mayhem meter, there was a suggestion a while back for some sort of vacuum-based technology that I may have developed and would fit perfectly into this run. But I don't want to pressure anybody to monetarily donate. But I have an extra cool extra boss that I can throw out if we reach that mayhem meter. Every $50 mayhem meter goes to the cast. Anyway. Player face still.
So I think Hayden is going to try to open you know what, one of the red doors, because this was our experience with one of the green lights. You know what? Let's go to one of the doors with the red lights.
Okay. You walk over to one of the doors with the red light. It opens up. It is dark on the inside. You can make out that there is a relatively sparse room in there. A few servers off to one side and a computer terminal, a few desks and tables that are mostly cleared, if not contained and organized. Doesn't seem to be anyone in here.
Nibbles, do you think you could use one of these computers to like make the elevator work? I don't know how hacking works, but I'm just, throwing out a question.
I can try. Yeah, can I use one of these computers to make the elevator work?
I'm gonna say you can try. The way this system gamifies things, that computer and this elevator are not on the same. They don't interact with each other. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Because it just, that elevator is supposed to be secure. Yeah, it just can't be done. Yeah.
Okay.
You might be able to find something else you can do with this computer, but it does not connect to the secured elevator.
Okay. That won't work. Do you have any other ideas?
Can you hack into like security cameras?
I think they know we're
Or
here.
sure, but we need to see where people are.
Yeah, maybe we could find that janitor.
Yeah, Gotta find the janitor.
I'll try and track down the custodian. Can I hack into the computer and see if I can get a bead on this guy?
Or see if you can track it down any admins.
Yes, admins at least, so we can get to the custodian, to the janitor.
Okay. So which of those two options are you specifically doing? Because they are two separate actions.
Yeah. It sounds like we want to get the elevator, so I'll look and see if I can find any admins.
Okay. Make me a cyber check.
You got it. And I have a downtime die, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pop that here. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a 5, the hard way.
All right. All right. Yes, you can hack into this computer, and yeah, you can start bringing up a manifest of all of these labs, and these are experimental tech labs. You can see there are 3 red, there are 3 green. The ones that are red are inactive. They are not currently being used for anything. The green ones seem to be actively testing labs. And in the lab just across the hall, actually, looks like it was reserved by another sort of middle management sort of administrator.
All right. I'll point over there. You said this is through the wall here?
Sorry, say again?
You said through the door over here?
Yeah.
With my second action, can I just use my laser rifle to just blast all the way through and hope to clip this guy, but mostly get the door out of the way?
Hayden, do you have another action left?
I do.
Because you have that sidearm ability. You could use one of your actions to assist Nibbles here, point him in the right direction. And I believe that that would actually also give him another die.
I would love to do that. Yeah, so Hayden is very happy to use that ability and to like help Nibbles line up that shot.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'm going to blind fire with Hayden's assistance. We're working as a team.
Mm-hmm.
You've got friends, Nibbles. You've got friends.
Holy moly.
Whoa.
3 1s and a 6.
It wants to go wrong. It wants to go wrong, but you just won't let it. Okay. The door is going to be blown open, but how much damage is this doing to
I had just reloaded, so that is another 16.
Okay. This guy is vaporized. Let's hope his key card wasn't also vaporized.
Yeah,
I would hope no. Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
But the door, it doesn't so much get blown open as much as you can see this sort of like hula hoop sized circle just melted out from the center of the doorway. And as the smoke and ozone clears, you can see a pair of boots just standing in front of the doorway a few meters into the room, and on the inside you can see another bunch of scientists off to one side of the room, and it looks like there's a bunch of like alien devices, alien power cores that look like semi-organic in there. You've seen the interlopers use them before, but you're not really sure what they do or how to work with them, and that's probably what they're experimenting on in this experimental tech lab.
Great job, Nibbles. How do you feel about crime, by the way?
Elevator pitch right now. That's what you're doing. Okay. Um,
Hayden, you can sense there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of more of these small psionic life forms beginning to register on your brain space.
Hey guys, I think we should get out of here like now. Nibbles, do you think you could climb in and get the key card?
don't worry about it. I got it.
After
it.
you.
Okay.
I am out of action.
Because I think we should go. I think we should go as fast as we can.
So can I just can I get through the door? Can I open the door now?
Yeah, you can move your way through the hole in the center.
Okay.
I'd say the door is like fused shut, but there's enough of an opening that you can climb yourself through. It would just take a move
Cool.
action to get up there, and then a move action to get back, or any combination of powers.
Cool. Then we're gonna just like on 3v.
Okay. One use of the power to zip in there. Remember,
Yeah.
it costs 1 extra biotech.
Yep. Cool beans. Can I see a key card?
Yes, I will say, laying next to this smoking pair of boots, you can see what looks like this obsidian black thin slab of a keycard, which somehow survived being evaporated.
Nice. Cool. Great. Let's pick up the card. Hello, gents. Ta. I'm gonna use my action to move out.
Okay. That's all of your actions. I believe that's all of JD's actions.
Yep.
I believe that was all of Aaron's actions from before. Alex, you used one to shoot.
And one to hack.
And one to hack. All right. We are finally through a player phase. All right. So you have this key card, but now we're rolling over to the enemy phase. Yeah, these guys are monsters. They are blowing through this facility. I'm
Quite
gonna,
literally.
yeah. We will have some things to talk about on the after show if we can fit one in after this episode. Okay, so enemy phase. We don't need to worry about bleed because there's nobody left alive. Triggering reactions. Okay. Well, I say there's nobody left alive. There's nobody left alive that was there previously. But, Hayden, you can pick up there are swarms and swarms and swarms pouring down through the walls of this facility and converging on your location. And as Hank, you are running back out of this room, throwing yourself through the hole in the doorway. You can see 2 vents, ceiling vents in the room you just came out of, burst down to the ground, and a swarm of rats pile out of each. You can see in the other room to the other side, the room that was dark, another 2 vents pop open, and rat swarms pile out from there. And you can hear more vents in the 2 other rooms, in the 3 other rooms you haven't looked at before. You can hear the clang, 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 clang of the vent covers being burst down on the floor. This place is overrun with rat swarms at the moment. And I'm going to activate some of them and see if I can dish some damage out to you guys. So we have a veritable tidal wave of rat swarms coming in your direction. So I'm going to have, I would say Hank is the closest one to the 2 in the room you just left. So Hank, one of these rat swarms is going to scurry in over to your direction and begin just straight climbing up your body and gnawing at various exposed portions of yourself. And this is going to do 5 harm.
Oh, no, thank you.
But of course, you have defenses.
I do. I sure do. So, well, got soak. Not enough to do with that. So we're just gonna go ahead and lose a shard.
That blows one of your shard. All right. You do, however, take 1 stack of bleed. The other rat swarm Yeah, the other rat swarm is just going to do the same thing. Run over your direct.
Okay.
You are being amassed by rats. You take another 5 harm, which would go through your defenses. I assume blowing another shard,
Correct.
and you are covered in scurrying, gnashing, clawing, purple-eyed rats. You take another stack of bleed as well.
Heard.
In the other room, we have Nibbles. Nibbles, you are going to take 5 harm that you have to deal with.
That's the normal way, right? Not passing defenses.
Correct.
Okay, I shard it.
All right.
Mhm.
Shard gets blown from that.
I only have 5 HP.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. No, no, no.
You also take a stack of bleed.
Great.
The other rat swarm in there, because you shot through the door, Hayden was right next to you aiming. The other rat swarm is going to go after Hayden. Hayden, 5 harm in your direction.
Cool. All right.
Oh, actually, sorry, that doesn't even hit my shard. I had the adrenal shunt activated.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
You do.
oh my goodness! I have armor. Sorry. Hello. Let me hold on. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
am
really.
blowing 2 shard.
All right. All right. All right.
So, um, so my armor is spiked.
Okay. Sweet.
So whenever I'm dealt melee, they take a harm. So
All
get
right.
wrecked.
We have these rat swarms. That is just 1 harm.
Yep.
Rat swarms. Okay.
I'm assuming the exosuit plus 1 harm doesn't count.
No. That is just
Yeah.
unpurposeful melee attacks.
Heck yeah.
All right. And the adrenal shunt that Nibbles activated. Yes, for our audience, an adrenal shunt allows an operative to ignore the next source of harm you would take. Very nice. So you don't even have to shard that. You do, however, still take the bleed.
Yes, I know.
JD, Hayden, did you resolve that 5 harm in your direction?
Yep. Blue 2
All
shard.
right. Blue 2 shard.
2?
Why 2?
Because I only have 3 soak.
When damage goes through soak and into shard, a single point of shard blows all of the damage away.
Incredible. Amazing
Shard is
that it took
extremely
me this long
powerful.
to know that, but that is wonderful.
Hey, no, it's good to point out. This is a demo play. Yeah. Let's do a refresh on the damage rules. You deal harm. Harm gets applied to your character. You have soak, shard, and barrier to go through. Soak will decrement the amount of harm coming at you by the amount of soak. In this case, 3, so 5 damage reduced by 3 to 2. Any more going through that would then be applied to shard. If you have even 1 shard, it blows away all of the damage that would otherwise be coming through. If you don't have any more shard available, it then goes to barrier, which absorbs that damage and then is decremented by that amount. So if Hayden didn't have any shard, the other 2 damage would be applied to his barrier of 5, reducing that barrier now down to 3. Anything left over from there gets rolled into HP. All right, cool. Demo play stuff. And now I can activate 1 more rat swarm. And I'm going to have that rat swarm. Most of the moves that these rat swarms have is just already what I've pretty much narrated based on the scene. We're just gonna keep it simple. 5 harm towards Ash. I'm just knocking down your
Alright.
defenses.
That's gonna hit my shard.
All right.
But that does the painted, so
Yes.
That goes to shard.
You have 4 stacks of paint, so it would do an extra 4 damage. Fortunately, the shard blows away all of it. Now, remind me, Alex, I believe bleed requires that they be healed in some way to remove the bleed tag.
That's right.
Painted, does that
Goes away painted goes away at the end of the round.
at the end of the round? Gotcha. Cool. Okay, that is all of the enemies that I can activate on this turn, because I can activate a number of enemies equal to the number of operatives plus 1. Alright, now I can change something on the battlefield. I think at this point, I'm just going to have all the other doors in this hallway open up. So there are now no more obstacles between the other rat swarms in this section of the building. Now we generate drops. And there were quite a number of enemies taken out here. I believe 3 enemies, the 2 rat swarms up here, and then there was... we didn't resolve the 2 turrets down below because we kind of moved out of action economy for a second there. So I'm going to resolve 4 drops. We have...
the admin. Does the admin count as an enemy?
No, he wasn't an enemy with stats. He was just some guy that you vaporized.
He was just a guy that we vaporized.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have 2 biotech, 1 HP, and a gear part to distribute.
I would like the biotech.
Has anyone else taken damage?
We all took 1.
Yeah, I'm taking 1.
Yeah. So yeah, you
I've
should
taken
probably
3.
take it. Right, you should probably take it, especially because we're about to take bleed.
All right.
And I'll hold on to the gear part.
Okay, rolling back around to our player phase, bleed. Nibbles, you have 1 bleed. So you take 1 HP damage there. Hank, you have 2 bleed?
I have 2, yeah.
Yes. So that is 2 HP reduced from you straight through your harm. Or straight through your defenses. Awesome. That will persist until either a med kit is used, or you could assign one of those HP drops to staunch that bleeding.
We gave the HP drop to Ash, right?
Yeah, I mean, you should take it then actually to avoid that bleed, because it's just I would be getting 1 HP back, you'd be getting 2 HP. So makes sense.
Okay, sure. Cool beans.
Okay.
So yeah. Heal,
yeah.
I mean, we know bleed.
All right. Ignore that 2 bleed then. I'm gonna say that that HP drop will staunch any stacks of bleeding that you have.
Dope skis. Has anybody else used biotech? Does anybody else need it? No.
I've used it, but I don't use it much.
Okay.
I mean, I will need it, but I haven't used it much so far.
Oh, okay. All right. So then I'll just go ahead and use it now.
Honestly,
they go away each round, right?
Your 3v benefits everyone, so
fair.
Yes.
Cool beans. All right. So yeah, I have enough to do a 3v, and I've still got the bio injector.
Okay. That's all our drops. That's all our enemies. We are back to player phase. You are on a floor which is literally swarming with rats, but you have the key card and the elevator is behind you.
Gotcha. All right. So we are all close together, right? We're all in close range?
Yes.
Dope. Which means so are the enemies. Yeah. All right. We're gonna go ahead. Yeah. We're gonna use the biotech I just got to Yeah, we're gonna scan flaws.
Okay. Until the end of the round, all attacks gain the bleed tag and deal +1 harm. All right.
Correct. All right. And then we're gonna use my handy dandy razor's edge. We're gonna do some slicey poos. I have. Oh wait. Yeah. No. Okay. I get 2 attacks because my sword is also greedy.
Yep.
And effectively, all these rat swarms. That's how words work. Can absolutely get bent.
All right.
We'll see how the dice we'll see how the dice rolls
So
go.
there are 5 rat swarms at close range and another 7 at near range.
Fantastic. So then we're gonna yeah, all of these because it's all enemies with arc, all enemies in one range.
Yeah.
So let's roll. Do they have keen or anything?
The rat swarms do indeed have keen.
Cool. Gotcha. Hiya. Okay, so that's just 4. Rolling 4. Hiya. Dope. That is a 6.
Okay. So you are taking this arc sword you have, and you are basically you're slashing through all 5 of these rat swarms.
Yep,
All right.
absolutely.
How much damage are you dealing?
Okay. So base harm is 4. Exosuit gives me +1. Scan flaws gives me another +1. So that is 6 doubled.
Okay.
12.
These rat swarms don't have any defenses to speak of. They don't have any soak, they don't have any shard, they don't have any barrier. So you slash through all of them. This is a flurry of cuts to either straight up kill these individual rats or send them flying down the hallway enough that they cannot recorporealize themselves. But you take out all 5 of these rats and then take 5 stacks of painted.
Hey. Fantastic. Just glowing purple.
Mm-hmm.
Smiling like an absolute moron. So we're gonna use the bioinjector.
Okay.
Get the yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use that. Boop. And we are going to hey Nibbles.
Yes.
You want to get close to like the elevator?
Sure. Yeah.
Great. The other 7 rats, are they in the direction we need to go?
No. 2 of them are back the way you need to go. And then another 5 of them are some of them are just beginning to pour out of the 2 rooms further down the hallway. At least 2 of them you don't have a visual line of sight on, though.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, come with me. And we're gonna just like in 3v, me and Nibbles.
All right.
And we're gonna get close to the door.
The elevator?
The elevator, yeah.
Gotcha.
So sorry. We've got the key card. That help? Figured you'd be the one to, man the elevator or whatever.
I think so.
Right, excuse me. Hiya! Can I can I use the second of my swings for my first action on these guys? Because there were 2 near where we were.
Yeah, the 2 near the elevator. I'll say you're close enough for that. Sure.
Dope skis. Right, still have the king. I'm probably gonna have 6 painted on me. Sorry, 7 painted on me. It's fine.
Hank, what are you doing? Hank, stop.
All right.
So it was only a 5. So that is 6.
Okay. These rats, you do slash up quite a bit, but they do remain corporealized enough to stay there.
Okay. All
You now
right.
have 7 stacks of painted.
7 stacks. Yeah. So they are gonna get some bleed. So yep, bleed tags. So that's 2 bleed. 3. So they have 3 bleed on them though.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's oh wait, no, I mean it's just slice.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, you have another
yeah,
action, I believe, because
right,
all
I've
of
got
your
another
movement was
action. Just
powers. Yeah.
right, exactly. I just need them to go away.
All right.
Um,
Roll another smash then.
cool. I got them.
Yes, they are torn to pieces. You are now at 9 stacks of paint.
I'm in so much pain here, Q. I'm in so much pain.
Don't worry, it's fine.
So for everybody else, you can see that Hank is you can't even really see any more than a purple outline of Hank's physique as he is just shaking and emanating this glowing purple aura. Who else do we have?
Hey,
Hey, is this
you
a good
okay?
color? Yeah, no,
I
it's fine.
guess me and A.
This looks bad. This looks bad.
We'll go. Okay, so first I have a med pack from an earlier drop, right? I'm gonna pop
Yes.
that and use that to cure my own bleed.
Awesome.
Let me just mark that away. Then, so just to make sure I understand this correctly, the elevator, like our back is to the elevator, me and Hank, and there's a bunch
Yes.
of rats. Like we're staring down these rats.
For the most part, yeah. So there were 12. You took care of 7 of them. There are another, if I'm doing my maths correctly, another 5 down the hallway.
Okay.
You can make out what looks like about 3 of those rat swarms, but Hayden can point out there are enough for 5 rat swarms. It's just they're probably still pouring out of the other 2 rooms down the hallway.
Right. Okay. I think I don't have the means to deal with that. So, can I activate the elevator now that I have the key card?
You can, but at least 2 of your half of your team is not in the elevator yet.
Right. Okay. Then the first thing I'm going to do is the next thing I'm going to do is pop a smoke bomb. This is another item.
All right.
It gives me and all of my allies in close and near range 2 soak for the round.
2 soak.
Nice.
All right.
Hell
Throwing
yeah.
a smoke bomb. Get in here, and then I'm just going to fire my gun again.
Okay.
So I have beams. I can hit 1 enemy at close, near, and far. I can probably only hit 2. Are there any close enemies?
There are no close enemies.
Okay, so I can hit 1 at near and far, right?
Yes.
Or are they all near?
The 2 that you can't see, I will say, are at far range, but you can't see them.
Can't see them. All right.
If Hayden would once again like to use an action to. Awesome.
All right.
So that costs one of Hayden's actions, but you can now target the unseen enemy.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm rolling my cyber with +1 die. That's a 6.
Yay,
You guys.
And that is only 8 harm to 1 at near and 1 at far.
Okay. They are both vaporized.
Okay. And then unfortunately, I need to spend my second action reloading.
Okay. You takes 2 stacks of painted.
Love it. Great.
Okay.
I mean, at least it's not 9.
The There's, if I'm thinking correctly, there's one that is near still and one that is far.
There are two that are near and
To
one that you
me-
can't see that are far.
Okay. Yeah. So I see the two that are near. I see there's a smoke bomb back there. I am going to do another one of my my big boom. Use the rest of my biotech.
All right.
And basically it'll also create a smoke bomb over by the near ones. It's dealing 3 harm. They all anyone near that one takes 1 harm, or anyone close to that one takes 1 harm. And then I'm gonna book it back to the elevator.
Okay. Ash, you take 2 points of paint.
Okay.
And now you said there's smoke covering that end of the hallway as well.
Mm-hmm.
Does that grant soak as in cover?
Yes.
How much?
1.
1. Okay. So these rats now have an extra soak of 1.
But I'm just hoping that, maybe they won't know where we went.
Sure.
There's smoke everywhere.
Who still has an action left?
I think
Hayden?
just Hayden.
I think you
and
have one
Hayden
action
is heading straight for the elevator. I want to get us out of here as soon as possible.
Okay. So you're using your action to move to the elevator. Did everyone move into the elevator?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So this would roll us over to our enemy phase. There were 3 rats left. They are psionic rats, as I have pointed out. One of them was at far range, and they just cannot make the movement to the elevator regardless. But Nibbles, as you are swiping the key card, unlocking the section of the elevator to access the admin level and pressing that button, as the doors are closing through, you can see this now much smaller tidal wave of little rats flowing in your direction, and they spill into the elevator as the doors are closing. And these 2 rat swarms are now in the elevator with you as you begin moving up. I don't believe any of these 2 remaining have any bleed that I need to apply.
These two, no.
Not these 2. All of the ones that were bleeding were cut up and destroyed. So I have only 2 more rat swarms to play with. One of them is going to target Hank. That is 14 points of harm coming to you, Hank, because of your 9 stacks of painted.
It sure is, and wouldn't you know it?
Shard.
I have shards, correct.
Okay. And double down. Who would be in front of the doorway between Nibbles and Ash? Because Hayden actually is not painted. Nibbles. With your 2 stacks of paint, that is 7 harm coming in your direction.
Okay, that gets eaten by a shard.
All right, that's another shard gone. I am slowly
Don't
eating through your
forget
defenses.
that everyone has 2 extra soak.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have
Let's
7
see.
soak, unfortunately.
No. Now to update this, you've killed 7 of these rat swarms. So we'll generate drops in a second.
Hold on. 9.
9.
I got 7.
Yes. 9.
Nibbles got 2 more.
Gotcha. Yes, that is how math works. That left 3 left over. 2 of them came into the elevator. You escaping from one of them. Gotcha. Cool.
Yep.
Let's see. That is all their attacks. Now I get to change something in the battlefield. You are making your way up this elevator, and I think what happens actually, you notice a good majority of these rat swarms fill into the elevator itself. And as you're dealing with them, you can hear the scurrying of the little rat claws on the exterior of the elevator. And then you can hear
No.
munching.
Oh no. No, 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 no.
And you
No, no,
hear
don't do
this metallic, thick, corded twang sound. Twang! And the elevator flips to one side, drops probably a good 5 meters or so. 3 meters or so. You are thrown to one side, not enough to take any additional damage, but the elevator is now off of the track.
Shit.
Generating drops now. 9 drops for you guys. That is 4 biotech, 3 HP, and 2 gear parts for you to distribute.
Anyone who has bleed, take HP. Need at least 2 of the biotech.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take a bleed, aren't I? So I should probably do that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so you would have a point of bleed, and Nibbles would have a point of bleed.
Okay, so that's 1. And then Ash, if you need one.
Yeah, I'll take a health.
Okay. All right. Do either Nibbles or Hayden need biotech?
I'm full on biotech.
Dope.
Yeah, not
I
yet.
took 2 of them because I'm gonna need
Okay.
it to get out of this elevator.
For sure.
But,
I will take the other 2. Take the other 2, and then gear parts.
I can just keep storing them.
Okay, that works.
I'll take all of the gear parts.
Right, and then we can hand those out later. It's fine.
Yeah, that's not a huge deal. I'll let you guys distribute those when we're done with the mission.
Thank you so much.
Okay. No conditions to remove, and we are going to head back to the player phase. But let's, since it's a good time, let's take our break now. We're about halfway through. We're going to take our break real quick. Our operatives are making their way up the elevator shaft towards the top of the building. Unfortunately, the elevator has been knocked off the tracks. So you're going to have to find another way up to the admin level. And you have rat swarms in here and on the elevator to deal with. So we're going to take probably a 10-minute break or so, get up, do all the human things that us not rat people have to do. And then we will come back for the second half of assaulting the Valdivian R&D facility. They have been tearing through this first half, but no surprise, there is a lot more coming in the second half, including the Custodian. So get up, stretch your legs, grab whatever you need to grab, and then sit your butt back down because we have the rest of this story mission to get through. We'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Hello, everybody. We are back for the second half of episode 5, Cyberrats, Corpo-Rat, Shills. This has been an explosive first half of this second main story mission, and we'll see how long we can keep this going. They have torn through this facility so far, making it out of the power generation facility, up through the research labs, and are now on their way to the administrative sector of this building, where they can find a separate elevator to take them down to the Custodian's lair. Currently, all 4 of our Cyberrat operatives are in this little metal box of an elevator, currently surrounded by 2 rat swarms that are gnawing at them, even more scurrying around the outside of this elevator. However, the rats on the outside of the elevator seem to have chewed through some of the cables and mechanisms of this elevator, causing it to fall off of the track, off of the cord. It hasn't plummeted down the entire length of the facility, but it has wedged itself in the actual elevator shaft, thus halting any upward movement. They still have several floors of a climb to go, and these 2 rats to deal with. So let's jump straight into our player phase. Who's up?
So we need to go up.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Somebody want to deal with the ones in here, or shall I?
Hayden pulls out their knife.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, Hank is going to everybody just sort of stay to the corners. How big is this elevator?
I mean, it's a general. It's not like a hospital elevator. It's a normal like building elevator. So I don't know, 6-7 feet.
Okay. All right.
Square.
Is there a hatch on the top of the elevator?
Yes.
Great. Can someone get the hatch open for me?
I can do that.
Great.
Does the hatch just open, or is it stuck?
No, you can just bust that open. I'm not even going to call that an action. Yeah.
Oh, okay, dope. Cool beans. Okay, so
I had my charges ready.
you know what? That might be helpful later, but for right now, swords. So we're gonna activate the Razor's Edge. So we're gonna use one action to take care of these rats in here, or try to. We're gonna attempt. You never know. And then we're just gonna jump up to get the ones outside.
Okay.
Okay. That is the hope. Let us hope that the dice agree with my course of action. Cool beans. All right, so that's 1 attack and 2. Ooh, thank goodness. Okay. So that is
Your rolls, guys.
5. It's 5 each, so 10 harm.
10 harm on one of these rat swarms. Or 5 on 5 apiece, you were saying.
My arc does to all
right,
enemies.
Right, you have an arc sword now. Okay, 10 points throughout all of these enemies. Now, arc does specifically specify targets all enemies. Your allies are not in danger. That's 10 damage. You carve through these rats.
Okay.
Everyone's stacks of paint would go away at the end of the enemy phase, but you get another 2 stacks of paint. We'll see if that matters.
I'm getting 2 each, right?
I believe it's just 1 each.
Oh, there are 2 rat swarms in here.
Yes.
and I attack them both twice. So
Yeah, no, yeah,
Gotcha.
4 stacks of paint.
Gotcha. Cool beans. All right.
Also,
And then
you know what? Take another downtime dice for correcting me in a detrimental to yourself way.
absolutely,
I
I
love
would
when
happily
players
do that.
are honest enough to give themselves detriments.
You know what? Sometimes it's just it's good to be honest.
Yeah, no, I love it.
All right. And then I'm gonna hop up through the hatch to say hello to these rat swarms here.
The ones inside and the ones outside were all technically part of the same swarm. That was mostly flavor. So
Oh,
when you cut them
oh,
apart, yeah, all the rat swarms in here are gone.
dope. Okay, cool beans. Because I was like, I got more. Let's go.
Yeah.
Um.
But you can pop
Okay.
up on top of the elevator, and you can see the elevator is wedged, sort of catty corner. That's not the right word, but wedged off to one side in this track. There is still one of the elevator cables that is there tethering it, but the other one that would allow it to actually, move the winch system
Mhm.
isn't working. Plus, it's stuck. But you are
Gotcha.
probably a good 10 floors or so from the start of the administrative sector of this building.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. I'm assuming they just shoot fully through it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You could get creative and try to attempt a repair, or maybe it's just time to climb.
I'm thinking it might be. Um. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Anybody good? Maybe. Hey, can one of you get your guns really warm? Maybe I can try to weld the cable again.
I don't know if a barrel of
I'm
a gun is going
sure
to get hot
that's
enough to weld
gonna
something.
work.
No. Look. Hank's not smart. It's
But
fine.
if you can get creative with any other tools or powers you might have.
Gotcha. Um. uh. No, that'd be silly. The
So
elevator's not an ally.
We befriended a horse. I mean,
We
how much
ooh,
harder can an elevator be?
did we befriend the horse? I don't think we did.
I think
Never
we
something I
did.
heard
No, I
about
think
that
we
in the
did.
grapevine.
Okay.
okay, when we went in the elevator, was there was it like a bank of elevators, like multiple elevators side by side, like you might find in many buildings, or just the one?
Just this one elevator per shaft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, per shaft, but were there multiple shafts?
Not connected to each other. No.
Yeah, this was like a separate shaft to get
Yeah.
to the custodian.
There's at least one other elevator, but it's specifically the admin elevator. And there might be other elevators in this facility. A lot like Star Trek turbo lifts, but it's not like a bank of 3 wide elevators just right
Gotcha.
here.
Mm.
Gotcha. Okay. Um.
Jed,
Yeah. No.
what am I seeing through my psionic senses?
Yes, your psionic senses. Right now, by this time you have made it above the isolated testing facility. You could see as you were passing that there were probably a dozen or more minor signatures. There was another 4 fairly strong signatures, and then there was another there was another psionic signature that was somewhere between those two, standing next to something that kind of gave you a headache to psionically look at.
Where vertically are we in comparison to that signature? I know there's not
Vertically,
like
you're
a door we can get through to
Mhm.
get there, but
that's probably at this point 4 or 5 floors down and over a bit.
okay.
It would be a considerate change in direction to go and deal with that. But you're also probably a good 10 floors away from the admin level, so, I mean, either way is going to take you...
Gonna take
take
us
you
a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, could I use my ability to bust through the outside of the the custodian level?
That's not the custodian level. The custodian
Oh,
level
okay.
is way down there at this
That's-
point. Yeah.
That's probably the adversary, probably.
Yes, because this is a demo play for the audience at the very least, I will confirm that is in fact Leone. What is this guy's name? Leone Cervantes. And
Okay.
whatever gizmo or gadget seems to be increasing the biotech cost.
Yeah, we hate it.
I don't like him. Don't like him at
Mhm.
all. Okay. So, what I could do, I mean, I could get one of you. If the lot of you could start climbing, sorry, I'm stating character. If the lot of you can start climbing, I can probably cut the wire.
Oh,
Cut the cable.
like, wait. Oh, this is. If we grabbed on to like the loose dangling cable and like you cut the just let the elevator pull us up.
Yeah, that was my thought.
That is how physics works.
Correct.
Pretty fair.
I'll
Correct.
take your word for it.
Okay, so everybody get up.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab on to the elevator cable that is like part of the cut through one.
Okay. So I'm going to say everyone's going to need to make an action to secure themselves as they go flying upwards, and somebody's going to need to take an action to actually cut the cable.
You're really good at cutting things.
I am. Yeah.
All right.
So-
Yeah, Hank, go ahead and roll me a smash for chopping through this cable. And I assume everybody's group hugging around the remaining cable.
Yeah. I'll use my second action to also like grab a hold of Hank so that when we fly up.
Okay.
That seems fair. Yeah.
You guys, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, one good whack at the base of this cable and the coiling and winch system of it, and sparks fly. There is just a thin cabling section of that left, and you all look down, grab on tight to each other and the remaining cable as you see twang, and the elevator suspends there for just a moment. And then remains there because it's wedged in the track.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But if you can get it unwedged,
Let's see.
I love the idea, but I also love continuity.
For sure. And honestly, I was thinking about it. We probably actually. I don't even think I need to cut the cable. Actually, it would be just because
Yeah.
You said that there
stopping
was
it.
one cable that would prevent it from like falling. But the one that was like the pulley one was.
I haven't researched elevators in long enough, and I really should have. I believe there's only two main cords. There's the one because So one of them
So-
is separated. The only reason it didn't fall is because it's wedged.
Because
So-
so my smash would have been to
You can use your smash to knock it into place.
there we
There
go,
we go.
knock it out.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, GMs, when you include an elevator, make sure you understand how elevators work. Yeah, so
Elevator
that
go up, elevator go down. That's
pretty
all you
much.
need.
Yeah. I mean, it's a future alien infested cyberpunk world. I could have just made this a grav lift and thwarted all your plans.
Good.
But no, this is an old-fashioned elevator with cables. So instead, rewinding just a bit, Hank, you can slam down with something, with your boot, with your sword. You could wedge it in there and pop it, whatever it may be. You slam down into one quarter of this elevator and it twang, and then it lurches down about a meter, and your stomachs all rise in your chest, and you grab onto this, and your eyes go wide as, leaving from beneath your feet, this elevator plummets down the dozens and dozens and dozens of floors that you've already gone up, and you get flung up into the higher floors of this facility. I want everybody to make me some kind of check. You guys determine what the attribute is going to be. I'm going to say using a cyber roll is, you're going to have to really push that, really explain that for me. But give me one roll each of you. How do you guys stay on this cable going in a safe upward
use
direction?
my action die.
Pure balance. I'm going sly.
I'm just gonna hold on to myself, hold on to Hank. Smash.
We're
Oh.
Ooch, we strong. Hank just holds up, like pulls up with his to get onto the cord of the cable as well.
All right.
And we're gonna smash that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Let's
I'm
go,
so
baby.
afraid to roll.
And
I'm
Hayden.
so afraid to roll.
Yep.
Hayden, my love, my darling. You're fine. Woo!
Even with only 2 dice. Guys. Okay, so everybody holds on just fine. Ash, as that first initial fling upwards that you get, because you're using one of your arms to make sure that Hank is secured, the weight distribution of that actually throws you off to the side just enough for your shoulder to get clipped by one of the joints or whatever that secure each of these floors, and you take that 1 point of HP damage. The conditional modifier there. Well, obviously the elevator plummets down the entire length of this facility, and as you are flying upward, just about when you get to what really is pretty much the very top of this facility, you hear the crash of the elevator down at the bottom of this tower. I'm not going to do that. No, that would have been interesting, but I'm not going to do that. There's no reason why this elevator would explode, unfortunately. So I think differently. You get flung up, and this is a complication that really should only just affect Ash. So I think what we're going to do here. Ooh, Ash, what do you have on you? What kind of gear do you got? What kind of items? Anything
I
interesting?
have a mag bomb and a med kit or med pack.
Okay. I'm not gonna take your whole weapon because you kind of need that. But as you get flung up with this and you bounce off the side of the elevator shaft, you slam into the other side, and your med pack gets knocked off and goes plummeting down the shaft.
Whew. Okay. Well, hope no one gets hurt too bad.
But with that, the four of you are flung upwards, and you are now dangling, probably because eventually it would hit the ground and you would lose momentum. You are 3 floors down from the top of this building. You know, the very top. The very top is the helipad roof. Under that, you have the COO's office, and then under that, you have a number of research levels. But the one you need to get to is actual like higher management just beneath the COO's office, which is one more floor right up there.
Can we get into this floor? Like, can we just open the elevator doors?
What do I see before we open the doors?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah. On these floors, Hayden, you can see in front of where the elevator, in front of the elevator doors on the other side, you notice on the floor you need to go to, the floor right here, and for 4 floors down, there are 2 fairly strong psionic signatures flanking those doorways. The alarm has gone off. This place is on alert. You also notice, I believe that power extends out to near range. You also notice a number of other smaller psionic signatures, probably just like regular clerical administrative people, maybe some lab techs. That is right. And you do see on the floor, the actual admin level floor, you see two other fairly strong psionic signatures up there. But at this floor that you would just get off of, there's the 2 flanking, and one more within the very edge of near range.
And so Hayden relays that to all of you and then says, so I'm having 2 thoughts. One is we only go onto the floors that we need to go onto. And secondly, I think we try that trick again where I tell you where they are and you just shoot right through.
Those sound like good thoughts. I'm kind of impressed that you only have 2, though. I'm having a lot of thoughts.
Mm.
I will also point out
I
you
don't
are
think now's the time.
dangling from a cord.
I can, if I can get up there, I don't think we're gonna be able to line up that shot super well inside this elevator shaft. I got breaches though. If I can breach that that doorway, we can all swarm in and catch them unawares.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
All right. So, I mean, I guess I don't have any actions left is the thing.
Okay.
I mean,
So if I did this, it would have to be next turn.
I mean, which we might as well just get to anyway, because I don't think any of
Yeah.
us have any actions either.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I thought it. Q, you got up there and attacked.
And then I
Cut the cable.
And then I nudged it.
Nibbles
Yeah, nudged
and
it.
Hayden have like 1 action
Yeah.
each left.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's anything in particular either of you would like to do.
I don't think so. Let me make sure that I'm reloaded. Yeah, I'm reloaded.
All right. Let us then just switch to the next enemy phase. The question is, do they know where you are? Probably not. They're really just in a defensive position at this point. They would have heard or otherwise been alerted that the elevator was yeah, they would have just heard that the elevator plummeted to the ground. So I think actually the door just above you is going to slowly open up. It looks like one of them is prying the door open. Actually, you know what? I have enough enemies to activate all of these guys, and you are sitting ducks here. Or I should say hanging ducks here. Both doors
Quack.
open up. The one up there and the one just in front of you. It takes one of their actions to open the doors manually. But one of the... What are these guys? One of the bio-enhanced soldiers there is going to take a shot at... well, you know what? I'm just going to roll a d4 and see what it hits. Hank. This is going to do to you 5 harm.
Okay. Ouch. Shard.
Yep. You can see as these doors open, there are 4 bio-enhanced super soldiers in front of, flanking them. They are in full Valdivian kind of military fatigues, and they have these vials that are placed on their shoulders, and then one down at the small of their back that is hooked into various parts of their body, kind of matrix plug-in styles. And you can see that grayish greenish biotech fuel being pumped into their bodies, and they are big guys. They're doing the Bane thing.
Yeah, Bane. Alex, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why would you do this?
I cannot be held responsible.
Yep.
I feel like you can.
But
Mr.
each of them have this. It almost looks like a miniature cannon, really. And one of their biotech supply lines actually goes into the cannon, and it whirs up, glows green, and then shoots out this globule of superheated biotech energy. And that is actually what hits you, Hank. So that is true harm, but I don't believe true harm does not go through shard. So if you have shard, you can just blow shard for that. It is also draining, which means you lose 1 biotech from that attack.
You motherfuckers. I mean, okay.
The other one targets Hayden. We're going after the brothers here. That is the same 5 harm through soak and barrier.
You
Popping a shard.
All right.
fantastic. Love to hear it.
You also lose 1 biotech. Okay, that is all I got for you. So the problem of getting the doors open is now resolved. The new problem of there are 4 Banes staring at you with plasma cannons is a new problem.
Okay, so it's 2 each, or is like 4?
There's 2 on the level up there and 2 on the level right in front of you.
Dope. Okay, perfect.
Are the ones on the level up near and the ones down here are close?
Correct.
Okay. Are they leaning like out to shoot at us?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna I am going to return fire.
All right.
Wait, hold on. We got drops.
Yes, you should have 2 drops because you took out those 2 rats. So you're going to get 2 more Valdivian drops. That is a biotech and an HP. Awesome.
Sweet. I'm taking the biotech. I don't care. They drained me of the one that would allow me to do a thing.
Yep.
Rude.
I would take the HP if no one wants it.
Oh, you can take it.
Okay. If
It's
someone's bleeding, they
yours.
can have it, but I'm down a little bit.
No, I think
Okay, I took it.
perfect.
Okay. I am going to my aim Lucretia, my gun that shoots lasers that explode somehow, up at these guys that are leaning over. I'm gonna just aim, let's say the one on the right. And did these ones have any keen?
They do not.
Okay.
Oh, good. Good.
I'm just gonna try and shoot it up at them.
Okay.
That's a 6.
Two dice, a 1 and a 6, an absolute success and an absolute failure.
Sheesh.
Good thing we take the highest.
All right. Yeah, I am going to yeah, it's gonna, so that deals so 4 damage to 4 damage just to it.
Okay.
1 damage to all creatures that are close to it, which I hope is the other guy also in the like next to him.
Correct. That's 1 damage.
Yeah, 1 damage.
Gotcha.
Didn't you take burst twice?
No, I decided not to do that.
Okay.
I let's see. They also get knockback.
Okay.
How would that, like, did they just fly further into the room? Did they fly up?
Yeah, so the explosion is going to lift them up off their feet a little bit, but it does knock them out of line of sight back in the hallway.
Right. Okay. I also got I got oomph.
All right.
So I get the momentum tag, which lets me move 1 range band based on my attacks.
Okay.
Can I use that to try to climb up to this elevator shaft up here?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and climb up. And then I get so because they were blown into the room, are they still now that I moved 1 range band closer, they're near to me? I moved 1 range band closer, but I knocked them 1 range band away.
Correct.
Okay. So with my second attack for this action, I'm gonna roll again.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit the same guy, and I'm gonna, yeah. Yes, 1 and a 5 this time.
And success and a fail. Listen, they want us to be great, Jack.
Yep.
Get with the program.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
so
fine.
it does all that again.
Okay.
4 damage to him. 1 damage to his buddy. They both get knocked back another range band.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
it has lethal, by the way, if that changes anything.
Lethal bypasses barrier and resilience. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And then yeah. It also has sticky, so they're not gonna move. I think I'm gonna see what other people do before taking another action.
Sure.
Okay, so you attack the ones that were up top, yeah?
I'm based on the momentum for that one, I'm gonna move in 1 more range band into the room also.
Okay. You're using your second action to move further into the room.
No, that was part of the second attack. Moves me further into the room.
Because oomph.
Okay,
Oomph.
gotcha.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Out of shark. Yeah. So we're gonna, and now I can't spell out. It's fine. Um, so we're gonna take my dear sibling. We're gonna take Hayden. Um, all right, Big Star. We're going all the way up. Well, not all the way up. You know what I mean. And we're going to, just like 3V.
All right.
Me and Hayden are going one up. Nibbles, don't lag behind.
I'm coming.
Thank you.
All right. And that is
And
2 biotech.
Yep. Very rude. It's very rude what they're doing to me. um, there are some guys on the ground.
Yes.
I would like for them to perish.
Okay. Well, we'll see about that. How would you like to convince them to perish?
I'm going to cast sword.
Okay.
We love to see it.
That is
You
usually
do
an
indeed.
effective technique.
Yes. All right. So let's go. Okay. Rolling now.
Guys,
Cool
come
beans.
on. All right, damage. What do you got?
Okay, so that's since I'm brutal, that is 10
Okay.
to each of them.
Let's see. They have 3 soak, so that's 7 damage coming through to them.
I have Pierce, so no,
you
they
have
don't.
Pierce. They don't have soak. Cool. Yeah, this guy is gone. And then you knock the shard off of the second one.
Fantastic. Second attack.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool beans.
Another 10 damage.
Another 10, yes.
Okay. And it bypasses soak, so this guy is gone. Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic. You mentioned that they have resilient.
They do not have resilient. No.
Don't think
Oh, they don't have resilient. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just have something that it happens to ignore resilience.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
These bio-enhanced soldiers just have true harm and draining. So
right.
You're good.
Which I don't enjoy.
Harm.
Do not love. But yeah, no, so those guys are taken care of.
All right.
Okay. Hayden, lead the way, yeah?
Yeah.
So I will say, because that did move you up into the hallway on the level you need to be at, it is very much like an office building hallway. There are doors just lining down this whole hallway, and you can see there's a T intersection that goes down further, and you can see 2 more of these super soldiers, these bio-enhanced soldiers, at that intersection.
Okay.
Hayden, you can obviously see those. You can see a number of normal people signatures about, and then you can see there is a distinct signature down the entire length of the hallway in one of those rooms, so far distance from where you are now, and then in a room, or there is another one, you assume, down towards the edge of that T intersection. You also need to locate the either a stairwell or the admin elevator to get up to the COO's office.
Okay. How far? What range are the other soldiers at?
You popped up just to in front of the elevator doors, so they are at near range to you. They would actually be close range to Ash, because Oomph moved you further down that hallway.
Gotcha. All right, so I could move if I had more biotech. It's very upsetting.
Well, bring it up with Mr. Cervantes.
I would really love to, truly. I'm kind of sick of his shit, to be honest.
It's gonna keep showing up until you deal with them.
Ugh, God, I hate him. Okay. Yeah. Then I guess for now, God, they're gonna absolutely destroy me. But there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Yeah, okay, we're just gonna move up.
Okay.
Gonna get up in their face.
All right, you are now at close range with 2 more bio-enhanced soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden, Nibbles.
So I think Hayden is going to use teleport to get up behind one of those soldiers.
Okay.
And that means that they are going to be making several attacks in response to that,
All right.
and using their gun for whatever good that is going to do them. Since their gun is not quite as powerful as what everyone else is wielding.
All right.
But we're gonna see how this goes.
Now that teleport did cost you 3 biotech.
Yep.
I believe in you.
And so I would like to argue to use Cyber, since Hayden is lining up the shots in a methodical way and going for as many vital places as they can see on these soldiers.
All right, sure.
Yay.
All right.
All
Let's
right,
go, babes.
that is my first attack. That is going to do. What is that going to do? That is going to be pierce. Yeah, no, it isn't. That's a lie. That is going to be lethal damage. So ignoring barrier and resilient.
Okay.
But only 2 harm.
2 harm. All right. That is eaten by their soak.
Of course it is. So I'm pretty much, I feel like, going to be unloading without any effect.
Do you
If
have anything
you,
that ups your harm?
because
Any
you have
power?
brutal, if you roll a 6, that would be 4 damage, which would actually get through
You know
their
what?
soak.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try.
But the more you roll, the more chance you have at failing a roll as well. But obviously
But
not.
Did not fail that one. So
But it's
2
not a
warmth
6.
that gets eaten.
2 damage eaten by soak. Yep.
See, and this is why Shred is great.
Mm-hmm.
It is. This is why I should have focused more on my weaponry than I did on upgrading my abilities, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Script management,
We're gonna
very
try
important.
one more time.
Oh,
Oh. Eaten by the soak.
that soak is rough.
Yeah, so we
Cool.
see Hayden teleport behind one of these guys, and it's just boom, 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 boom. A number of shots straight into the back. And I'm going to say that these Bane-like bio-enhanced soldiers do actually, the bullets hit them. They tear through their clothing, and you see blood trickling down, but you can see this guy just slowly turn his head in your direction, eyes wide, and this crazed smile comes across his mouth. Seemingly unnerved by the bucket full of lead you injected him with.
Cool. This is great.
Nibbles. I believe you are the only person left dangling from the elevator cord.
Yeah, so I'm going to move, and I also how many of them are still up?
There's the 2 at the elevator on the floor you were parallel with,
Right.
perpendicular with. And then once you get up into the floor you're supposed to be on, there's another 2 at near range down that hallway.
Okay. I just want to. Okay, I'm gonna start by going up to where I need to be,
Okay.
and then I think I'm just going to fire off another round.
Okay.
They're both at near range, so I can only hit one of them.
Yeah.
That's fine.
1 action move, 1 action attack.
That's right.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna roll fiber here and hope it works. I think I clicked the button.
Uh-oh.
There it
There
goes.
we go.
Yay!
All right. That's a
Just
success.
barely, but it worked. And that is once again 16 harm.
Okay. Shard.
Shard. I'm lethal. That doesn't do anything.
Nope.
Nope. Barrier and resilient.
Yep. Great. That's me. Wait, is that me? I'm gonna split.
Okay.
Yeah.
It normally
Yeah.
costs 2 biotech, but I think it actually costs 3. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. And then that gives me an extra action. And I'm going to shoot again.
All right. Same target.
Same target. And this time it will only do 8 harm if it hits, but let's see if it hits. Rolling cyber. That
Let's
hits.
go.
All
Let's
right.
That is
go.
8 harm to the guy.
8 harm. All right. Do you bypass soak?
No.
Okay. It's going to eat 3 of that and then 5 harm to its HP. He is still up.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
I believe that is everybody. We've taken out 2 of those soldiers. I've added them to drops. Okay, enemy phase. I don't believe anybody left alive is bleeding, triggering reactions. We're gonna do one attack on Hayden because he asked so nicely for it.
No.
And
No.
I think another attack on Nibbles here.
Nibbles has done nothing wrong.
So Hayden, that is close and near range. Yep, that is 5 harm, true harm in your direction. Bypassing soak and barrier.
But not shard.
But not shard.
Cool.
Okay, you blow a shard.
I blow a shard.
The other one. That's the injured one that Nibbles was attacking. Now we're going to keep it easy. He's just going to do 5 harm to you.
Okay.
Do you likewise still have shard?
I still have 1 shard.
All right.
Now I am out of shard.
Okay. That is those guys. The 2 down on the floor beneath you at this point, you can hear them shout something out, but then you can hear footfalls, heavy boot falls, that sound like they are running further into the building somewhere. You also see at the far end of this hallway, one of the doors is kicked open heavily enough that it actually breaks off the top hinge, slams into the wall, bounces back, and then this big meaty arm pushes it all the way through. However, this big meaty arm is dressed in a very finely tailored suit as this big bulking hulk of a guy rounds out of the doorway. And yeah, this is a big guy that looks like a typical middle management executive. However, he's very large and his eyes are completely bloodshot. And he turns down the hallway. What's all this damn racket? Rats.
Squeak.
All right, changing the battlefield. You hear an explosion from way down in the facility somewhere.
Play.
Generating drops.
Oh, they didn't do their job.
Oh. Oops.
That is 1 biotech and 1 HP replenishment for you guys.
Okay.
I don't believe I have any conditions to remove, so we are back to the player phase.
Who needs HP?
I'll take the HP.
Do it.
Or do any of you need HP?
Nope.
Not desperately.
I feel like everyone's at a shard, but
Yeah, ask me again next round.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, I'll take it.
Just a little bit. It's okay. The one biotech makes me sad. To be honest. If anybody else has biotech that they can use,
I would take it. It would let me split again. Or heal. I could also heal.
that is also good and may
I'll
become
take it.
it
I'll
may
take
become necessary. Okay, so shall I deal with these two?
Please.
Got it. Okay. The two right here. We're
Okay.
going to again cast sword.
All right. Go for it.
Okay. All right, the first one. Hiya.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, did we miss another airdrop? Cool. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Muse, for that.
Thank you.
Q, how about you continue your attacks and I'll figure out what drops.
Sounds great. I mean, if you want to give a brother another bioinjector, I'm not gonna say no. All right, and cool beans. All right, I'm assuming the first one goes through, hits their shard.
There is a currently injured one, and there is a
Mhm.
completely uninjured one. Who would you like to hit
Okay.
with this?
I mean, I'm hitting them both with my
Right,
arc sword.
Arc Sword hits both.
Yeah.
One of them has shard and is damaged. The other one, or one of them lost his shard and is damaged. The other one is completely unharmed.
Okay. So the first one was 10 harm.
Okay. Yeah, completely destroys that bioenhanced soldier, and then I assume that's going to blow the shard on the remaining one.
Exactly. And then the second strike with that first action was another 10 harm.
Okay. 10 harm, that is that pierces, right? Goes through soak.
Yeah.
All right, he's gone.
Okay.
What I haven't been asking this much for this mission, trying to get through time, but you do so many cool things. Describe how you slash these guys up.
Yeah. So just seeing them go after Hayden and Nibbles and not me, Hank just goes, "Oi, fuckos, I'm right here," and then just yeah,
All right.
just like double swing with the sword and just cut them in half.
Yep.
Vertically.
Gotcha. And the two halves of both of them just.
Yeah, like, don't ignore the guy with the big fucking sword, mate. What are you doing? Yeah, all right. So, yeah. So that's fucking. I'm gonna save my other action for somebody else to do so.
Okay.
How far is Boss Man from us?
Middle management Hulk guy is at near range. Yeah.
All right, sounds great. By the way, Hayden, we heard people downstairs moving. If you can track them, that's where the stairwell is.
Yeah, I can do that.
Then she is going to heft Lucretia and boom.
Okay. This guy does have keen.
Okay. In that case, I'll use the downtime die.
All right.
Because Yeah, I was gonna say it's risky enough. Didn't want to get that one.
Thank goodness.
All right, that's a roll of a 4. Okay, you lose 1 HP from the smash complication, and you lob a series of explosive rounds down the hallway. And you see this hulk of a man in his business suit look at this and backhand the bullets. They explode across his arm, but you see a number of the shrapnel gets cast back in your direction, and you take 1 damage from shrapnel literally being slapped back in your direction. You also are painted.
Okay.
But what damage does that do to Mr. Hulk here?
4 lethal damage.
Lethal goes through barrier and resilient. Cool.
And there's no one near him, or no one close to him, so
Correct.
doesn't matter that he explodes. He does get knocked back another range band, and I move forward another range band.
There is not another range band for him to get knocked back from. You slam him against the far wall.
Okay, in that case, I'm not gonna move forward because I'm already in the in the blast radius. So,
all right.
For this next one, unfortunately, the keen still applies, so I'm rolling a single die.
It looks like Muse here has given all of you an action die.
Oh,
bless.
Thank you.
Redeeming
I will
those
use
channel
that
points.
action die right now.
All right. You took keen off as well?
Yeah, I'm just back at 0.
Gotcha.
Extra dice.
Let's go.
All right, full success. Another 4 harm then?
Another 4 harm.
Okay. You see, most of that is getting eaten up by just his sheer heft. He is still up. You also take 1 more point of damage, as again, the other hand comes up this time and slaps another few rounds of shrapnel back in your direction.
Full success?
Yep. Recoil tag. Anytime he takes damage, you take 1 damage back. You are also painted again. That is 2 stacks of paint for you.
Okay. Does she lose just 1 HP, or does it go against regular defenses?
With recoil, it does harm to the attacker, so it does go through defenses, actually.
Okay, so I have 1 soak. That's fine.
Okay, that completely eats it up.
Okay, I only lost the mixed success HP.
Awesome.
Okay. That was 1 attack, or that was 1 action. I'm just gonna shoot him again.
Yep. Okay.
So this is gonna be I've run out of dice to apply to this to ignore the keen. So success.
All right.
4 more damage or 4 more harm. And then for my second attack as part of that action, a success.
Okay.
Hey, yo.
You take him out.
Literally 1 die. Yeah.
You now have...
That does it?
That does it, yeah. You get 2 more instances of 1 harm that gets eaten up by your soak, but you are painted 4 times now.
Cool.
Hey, Ash. You have soak left, right? You have 1 soak left, right?
You mean soak or
1
shard?
soak, yeah.
Okay. I mean shard. I keep doing that. I mean shard.
No, I have no shard.
Oh no, Ash.
Yep.
Oh no.
I have barrier. I have a decent amount of barrier.
All right. So I will say all of the enemies have been taken care of in this immediate range. You do still have this hallway full of doors, and then you have the T intersection full of doors that goes down to another hallway, so it's kind of an H pattern on this floor.
For that last attack, when I made him go down, I'm gonna oomph forward 1 range band.
Okay, so away from the, you are at the T intersection at this point. One range band would take you to the end of the hallway.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think we need to go to Underway.
Then I'd go. Wait.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was going to be my question, Jack. Is
Yeah.
if Hayden is trying to keep an eye on the soldiers moving from the floor below, what direction are they
Mhm.
heading in if they are coming up, so we can pinpoint the stairwell?
Yeah. I'm not gonna try to, like, gotcha or anything. So it does look like this is all happening at the same time, but to give you a sense of direction, it looks like they're heading to the opposite end of the building, opposite corner of the building. So actually, you would need to get up to that T intersection, go down that hallway, and then up the other side of the H. So you can use your oomph, Ash, to go that way.
All right.
Gotcha. So that would get you down to, that would get you about the middle of the hallway. It was a big building. From that point, there's no enemies immediately there. I will say, for sake of time, would you guys spend any time trying to investigate this floor, or are you just looking for the stairwell to get up to COOs?
Stairwell COOs.
Okay.
Yep.
Action. So it would take three movements to get everybody to the stairwell. Can we manage that in this player phase?
In this one, I mean, I've got a movement.
Well, no, because I'm out of actions. So
Hayden has not taken any actions, so
And
it
I
could
think
theoretically.
Nibbles can also help too.
Yeah. Can we use an action to take someone with us?
I'm gonna say no, because there are powers that specifically let you do that.
Yeah, sure, fair. I just figured, that one's for free, so being able to just use an action wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, that's legit.
What do you mean that one's for free? 3V costs a biotech, right? Yeah.
But not
right,
an
but it's not an action.
Right.
Right.
For expediency's sake, sure. For now,
Okay.
I will let that.
That's fine.
Just to keep us moving, because we're running out of time. So I will say, instead of nickel and diming the action economy here, you guys can make it to that stairwell, and you need to head upwards into the COO's office. And I am getting to that airdrop because in that stairwell, on a box at one of the levels, it looks like it's like a first aid kit. You open it up, you don't see a med pack in there like you were expecting, but you do see a series of little vials, little syringes. Inside there is one combat stim that somebody can use.
Nice. Okay, combat stim. What does that one do?
It makes your attack do double harm.
Yep. Because you guys really need more instances of damage.
I mean, well, give it to Hayden.
Yeah.
The irony is, Hayden has had one that they have not used yet.
Hayden. You remember when I asked if you had anything?
It's fine. It's fine.
This is your sibling. They're a disaster.
Oh my goodness. That's my big star. It's my big star. Yep.
Okay, but you can make it all the way up that stairwell, and you can get to the COO's office. But we are going to do an enemy phase before that. So enemy phase, I don't believe anybody has any bleed, triggering reactions so that they may go. Those two those two soldiers from down below, Hayden, you can see they are making their way up the staircase as well, but just the nature of the staircase means that they can't really get a beat on you. But they seem to be actively chasing you. Thing I'm going to change in the battlefield. You hear a second set of alarms going off. And at that point, you realize that it's starting to get a little hot in here.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, no.
But let's see. As far as drops, enemy drops, because you took out the two remaining bio-enhanced and the middle management, that's 3 drops. You guys get 3 HP.
Cool.
Don't know how helpful that is at the moment.
Who's missing HP?
I'm
You
missing one.
and Nibbles.
I'm missing.
I'm missing 1.
I'm missing 3. We can each take 1.
All right.
So you get up to the office door of the COO's office. It is locked. How are you get inside?
What kind of doors are there?
This actually just looks like a regular, like, office door, like, nice wooden door. In fact, the audience has seen this before. It's a real nice looking, heavy dark wood door with a golden V inlaid Valdivian doorknob. It says on the placard in front of it, Chief of Operations Lara O'Neill.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna kick it.
Okay. Roll
Kick
me a
it open.
smash.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cool. I got a 5.
Yep. It shatters beneath your boot, and the remaining of the door slams against the inside wall. And a lot of you can rush inside, and it's a very nice office in here. You can see 2 floor-to-ceiling fish tanks off to either side of the desk. There is a large, heavy, probably like mahogany, intricately carved desk there. There is a high-back red leather chair with a V engraved in the back. There's various potted plants across the room, a very nice carpet in here, but what you don't see is the Chief of Operations. There doesn't seem to be anybody sitting in that chair. It is simply facing out towards this large window that looks just above the rim of the caldera of the volcano. And there's not much on the desk either. You can see a few pieces of paper on top of their paperweight, writing utensils and whatnot, but surprisingly sparse. Off to the other side of the room, you can see it looks like a regular wall, but you can see the seam where the wall is actually a door, kind of Oval Office style. This door that is disguised as the rest of this paneled wall.
I think they're in there. Somebody want to get that?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, yeah, Hayden, we'll see if they can. Well, what does Hayden see if they're looking through the wall?
With your sidearm, you can of course see the 2 soldiers that are rushing up from the lower floor, but beyond that wall, you don't see anybody.
Yeah, and so I think actually in that case, Hayden turns to Hank and says, I don't think there's anyone there.
Well, they're not here. So, like, I mean, I guess the only other option is that they're up on the helipad.
I will remind you, you do know that there is supposed to be an executive admin elevator here that goes down to the Custodian's lair.
Oh, elevator. Nah, doy. Oh wait, that's the elevator. City me. Okay.
That's why I couldn't see anyone.
Yeah, it's fair. You're so smart, Hayden. All right, so we're gonna go to the elevator.
Okay.
As we're going, I am going to shoot, just like, all right, we've got company. Shoot down the stairwell at the people below. The two super soldiers coming up.
Okay. Just like they didn't have line of sight to shoot at you during the enemy phase, you don't have line of sight to shoot at them just yet. So you
Cool.
would have to hold back.
I will not do that then. And I will just join everyone over there.
Okay.
I thought I could push them down the stairs.
Does anyone have anything they want to do in this room, or is everyone piling into the elevator?
I think into the elevator. We don't have time. We gotta go.
We got it. We got
Into the elevator.
Go.
Okay.
Alex?
Yeah.
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 All right.
Ignoring everything else, going straight for the elevator.
Okay. Into the elevator, you have an administrative key card. You can see that this elevator only has 3 buttons. One for this floor that you're on. You obviously don't need that one. The one above it has an R for roof access, and then down, then the one just below it has a C on it. Probably for Custodian.
Yeah.
You can swipe your key card, press that button, and we see the 2 bio-enhanced super soldiers make their way up the stairs, turn towards the elevator with their plasma cannons, just as the door closes, ding, and begins making its way down.
They just.
All right. We get a little bit of time passes as you have to travel down the entire length of this facility, and there is this sort of background, just sort of elevator music, which reminds me, why aren't I hearing any of the music we have? It should be playing. I haven't been hearing it. That's a shame. Roll20's music player seems to be having some issues right now. But anyway, you hear a little bit of elevator music as you make your way down. There is an unnerving pause in the tension and action here, as you are just trapped in this metal box with this lightly plinking elevator music as you have to descend probably a good 60 floors or so.
Hayden starts singing.
Okay. And then there is that lurch to the elevator as it hits that bottom floor. Ding! The elevator doors open up, and you see, looking out into this cavernous room. It's probably the size of the reactor room just a couple floors below, but without all of the obstructing machinery inside. And it also probably is a good 3 stories high, floor to ceiling. There is, however, this sort of omnipresent purple haze that sort of emanates through the entire room. Not thick enough that it's going to obscure your vision, but enough that you notice it. And it begins wafting into the elevator. You don't notice a stench or a taste or any immediately debilitating effects, but it's there. You can also see what looks like a number of clearly alien objects, technology of some kind, various obelisks, and sort of fleshy organic orbs that are pulsing this green energy or flickering these green lights. And in the center of this room, as you walk in, beyond this haze, you survey the area and then you look up. And you see dangling from the ceiling at the center of this room is a humanoid figure, maybe a little tall, but a generally humanoid figure, except they have these tendrils coming out of the top of their skull and attached to various places in the ceiling. You can see these strange metallic jagged pieces of technology that seem to be embedded into their body. Very crude, sort of cybernetic inclusion in their body. It's not a nice sleek cyber arm or a cyber deck built into their forearm. It looks like somebody just took a short rack of hard drives and jammed it into their shoulder, or took a processor and a fan and jammed it into their side, or took a CPU and jammed it someplace else, GPU, whatever. And you can see as you walk in, the eyes on this entity open up, and they are likewise glowing purple. And then we hear the as the tendrils coming out of his head snap away with hissing sounds, and he drops towards the floor in a strangely sort of superhero 3-point landing for what looks like a cybernetically mangled janitor.
Nice.
You see on a table just off to his side, there is a broom that he reaches out and grabs while maintaining eye contact with the group, and he jams that into a bucket of water and slides it over to him.
See, I told you he was a janitor. I told you. I fucking told you. Oh god, I love being right.
I mean, I don't love any of this, Hank. This is horrifying.
What?
Hey, custodian. The company doesn't want us to like destroy any of this property because they'd rather have it alive, or intact or whatever. I kind of hate them, so come with us or I'm just gonna start shooting.
Probability of such an outcome is extremely low at this time.
Me shooting? I've been doing a lot of it, so
So you don't want to come with us then?
My function requires that I remain here. My function also requires that you leave. Please vacate the area.
You can't do that.
That is inadvisable.
That's fair.
Estimates
Hank.
of your survival at 63.2%.
he could do better than that.
63. Yeah, all right. How far away from them are we?
Yeah, this is a big cavernous floor. At this point, he is... Yeah, he's at far range.
Gotcha. Well, so shall we do this then?
I prefer that we do not. However, you do not seem to be capable of adequate reason to avoid such conflict.
Listen, we got a job to do. You're the job, so yeah.
I will also advise that the likelihood of planetary annihilation or enslavement will go up drastically should my function be diminished.
That's a risk we're all willing to take.
You could just work for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have choices.
I cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
can't really either.
She's like, mm. Yeah, so out of character, who has the pokey thing to Psionic. Pia.
Oh, I would say Nibbles? It's a cyber thing, so
Right. It was the cyber thing.
Mhm.
Nibbles or
Or Hayden.
Hayden?
Yeah.
Hayden can teleport.
Ooh.
Take it, Hayden.
I guess I could do that.
All right.
So player actions time?
Yes.
Great. I'm gonna run up
All right.
and then I'm gonna run up again.
Okay.
Being out of biotech sucks real bad.
Yep. So you were at far, you moved into near, and now you're up to close. But that is both
I'm
your
at
actions.
Yup.
Who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
Action 1, reload. Action 2, blasting. He's at
Okay.
far range, right?
He is.
Mhm.
Yep, I can hit that. That's
Yo.
that's success.
All right.
And since I just reloaded, you know the deal. That is 16 harm.
Okay. That is going to blow through his shard.
Yep.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and we'll leave it there.
All right. Who's next?
And so I think if the plan is to deploy this virus, I think Hayden is going to move so that they're close enough to then teleport.
Okay.
And then they're going to look to infect the janitor with the psionic virus.
Okay. That's a cyber roll.
Cool.
We got downtime dice. So
We do. And I'm going to use that for this. I'm also going to make sure that I deduct the teleport cost. All right.
I believe in you.
I believe in me too.
Do you want another action dice?
That did not go through. Let's try that again.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right. Full success.
Phew!
He has the virus tag applied to him now. All right. That is going to limit him to either a movement or the use of a move ability or an attack. Awesome. So Hayden, you moved, teleported, another action for the virus. So that is all of your moves.
The teleport also lets you make an attack.
It does.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead then.
So I guess I will. You know what? I will shoot. For whatever good that'll do, I will shoot.
Okay.
Hey. What do you have? What do you have?
But doesn't that take an action to use an item?
No, items do never take action.
Items don't take an
Okay.
action.
Then
Mhm.
I am popping one of one of those stems.
Okay.
And I am shooting.
Let's go.
All right.
Brutal.
And
Yes.
wait, okay, now I have to actually do math because in popping the stem,
Mhm.
that
Double.
deals double harm, but I also have brutal,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
deals double harm when I roll a 6.
All right.
So it's 8.
2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8.
8.
Sweet.
Okay. 8 damage. I will mark that here. As you shoot the Custodian, you did teleport up right next to him. As you load into the Custodian once more, he turns around and you do shoot into him, and just like the middle management guys upstairs, it pierces through some of his clothing, some of the bullets ricochet off of metallic pieces. You also see that there's sort of this shimmering, oscillating shield about him as well. But enough of it gets through that blood splashes back on you, this green, viscous blood that does 5 damage to you in recoil.
Oh, yeah.
And
Now
does
that
that
is-
bypass, or is that right like regular?
That is harm, so it does go through defenses. You can apply your defenses.
Okay. Cool. Then I am, I think, blowing my last shard.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe that leaves us with Ash.
Yeah, I hope this. Y'all have soak, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, you're here. You're fine.
Oh,
Um,
wasn't
I'm
sure who you were
going
talking to.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm talking to the people standing right next to in the blast zone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot at him.
Okay.
Does he have keen?
He does not have keen.
Oh, thank
Phew.
God.
A recoil to 5's no joke, though.
Yup.
So, oof. Oh, Ash, baby.
That's a low roll, but it is still a success, but with a complication. So you lose 1 HP. It does go through, so how much harm are we looking at? Plus other
That's
nonsense.
a four lethal, and then he's also knocked back. Also, everyone else takes 1 harm.
Okay.
Okay, so got
Hank
something
Hayden,
good.
1 harm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
And he gets knocked back another range band.
Okay, but hopefully now he's. Also, I move forward 1 range band.
All right.
Hopefully now he's out of he's now out of the explosion zone of these 2.
True.
I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay.
That one's a success, a full
All right.
success. 4 more damage.
All right.
Okay. Does each attack, like, do you have to knock him back, or can you choose not to?
I don't know.
I mean, you can knock it in any
I
direction.
can move them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now that he's
So-
out of your splash zone, I'm not gonna knock him back any further.
Okay.
Okay.
I am, however, gonna take 2 more attacks.
Okay. Fire away. Just go ahead and roll both of those. Okay.
Hell
2
yeah.
more 6s.
Yep.
All right,
that's
that's-
4 damage apiece.
Uh-huh.
All right, gotcha. I believe that is all of your actions.
And he has sticky now.
So we can't move.
Yep.
Okay. So as the smoke clears from this bombardment of explosive rounds, you see the Custodian standing there with his mop and bucket fully planted to the ground. Bit further back than he was before, but planted to the ground, the smoke clears, and he is unscathed.
Nani desu ka?
Let's see. He was knocked out of range from Hank and Hayden,
Yep.
unfortunately, and he can't move.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, so he is going to take his mop, he's going to swirl it around in his bucket, and he's going to flip it up and splash it in your direction. Let's see which of the brothers I'm going to hit. Hayden.
Why do we keep stop this? Stop it.
Because Hayden's nice and squishy looking. Hayden, You are going to take 5 true harm. That bypasses soak and barrier, but not shard.
Which would be great if I had any shard left.
All right.
Okay.
Still up?
I'm still up.
Okay. You also take 2 stacks of bleed as this corrosive mop water sears away at your armor and clothing and skin.
Can help.
Let's see. Action dice still up for grabs if the janitor wants it. Well, I don't actually have to roll any dice for these guys, so I'm not sure anybody grabbed that. Somebody take that action die.
I will take it.
This would be a perfect opportunity for the mayhem meter, though. But again, I don't want to push anybody to donate if they can't. Take care of yourselves first. Okay, so enemy phase. He attacked. Change in the battlefield. Hayden, you notice coming from the wall behind you, like outside, like exterior to the building, you sense 3 signatures slowly making their way down.
No, please.
Someone's coming.
No new drops to deal with. We are back to the player phase. For the sake of expediency, and because this is a demo play, I will point out just how ridiculous the Custodian is. The Custodian has 8 soak, guys. You need to do more than 8 damage to even hurt this thing.
I can do
At least half of the
Oh.
group can manage that fairly easily.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. You had me word. Okay.
Okay.
It me turn.
that. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Well, I have to get close to him.
All right. That's an action to move up.
Yep. We're going to go Hayayit. He's no king, correct?
Correct.
Gotcha. I just got an action dice. We're gonna go ahead and use that. Why not? Nice. So that is just 5, but I ignore soak.
Okay. You run up and slash him with your sword. 5 damage. All right, that
Okay.
ignores soak.
Yep.
So that is going to hit his barrier.
Cool. I also do 2 bleed.
Okay, he takes 2 bleed.
I can finish him.
Okay. I've got another swing.
Oh, go ahead.
Hank, you do take 5 points of damage as more of this acidic blood splashes back in your direction.
Cool. Soak 4, barriers 2. So I take 2.
All right.
Okay. Second swing. Cool beans. Another 5.
Okay. You bust through his barrier.
And that is 2 more.
2
more bleed for him.
All right, you take another 5 harm.
Cool. So I'm taking 4.
All right. Who's next?
Nibbles. I don't need to reload, but I'm going to because I do more damage. So action 1, reload. I am going to use Overclock. Until the end of your next turn, double all harm you deal and that is dealt to you.
Oh, God.
That costs 2 biotech. And then I'm going to shoot this guy with my plasgun for 32.
Okay.
And I have that extra die from the downtime die that we got when everyone got one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Make your
rolling with
attack.
everything I have here. Here we go.
Come on, baby.
Hey!
Okay. So you lose 1 biotech from the cyber consequence, but that's going to do 32 damage to him. There's no defenses in this game that are going to help there. He is out of shard. That is just going to annihilate him.
Now, damage to me is also doubled.
Okay, you take 10 damage in 10 harm and recoil.
Let's see. I soak 3 of that.
Okay,
So I have
that's
7 that eats 5 goes to my barrier, and then 2 goes to my health. I'm fine.
Okay, all right.
Not
Hey,
fine.
You blast the body clean off of the custodian. Fortunately, the head remains, and there's a few bits of technology and all these lashing cords coming off of the head. Now, hopefully, this head remaining is enough to hopefully retrieve the information you were supposed to get from him. But that's the custodian. Down, vaporized. You see all that remains.
What?
You see the head rolling away. You see a few of the lashing tendrils begin slowly trying to scurry together, almost like cybernetic corded spider legs, and it crawls a couple feet before it just slumps down to the ground, begins oozing this green blood from the remainder of the neck.
okay.
All right.
Who is worse off right now?
I mean,
let
Hey,
me
I
let me
mean-
ask before we get into discussion. Who still has action left?
Nibbles. don't.
This was gonna be me
Hayden,
using my
yeah.
action.
Okay.
Who is the worst off right now?
Hayden's bleeding.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bandage up Hayden using my last 2 biotech.
Okay.
okay. Somebody grab the head and let's get the hell out of here. Yeah?
I'll grab it.
Good.
Look, it's still warm.
Don't let the acid touch you. It fucking sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
You can rush inside, grab the head, and begin making your way back in time for the enemy phase. Just in
Actually,
time.
I was also gonna ask, can we see the people out the window yet?
No,
I'm
Okay.
gonna say,
Cool.
is there a window?
there is not a window. No.
Right.
Oh,
Hayden only noticed them because of the sidearm.
oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
So you grab this head and begin making your way back to the elevator, just in time for the wall very close to it to explode outward in your direction. A series of shrapnel and shrapnel, metal pieces, insulation gets blasted back in your direction. Each of you are going to take, I'm going to round this down. I'm going to apply cover. Each of you are going to take 3 harm.
Which is 6 for Nibbles.
6 for Nibbles.
Heck yeah.
Which is Nibbles has 1 health left.
Okay.
Cool.
3 harm.
I also am down to 1.
Okay. And standing there, you see, once the debris closes, you see on what looks like a heavily armored, modified, like, window cleaners cart that would go up and down the side of skyscrapers. You see standing there in a suit, but also with like a tactical vest, holding what looks like a plasma launcher of some kind. Something heavy enough that the barrel of the gun is actually underneath. It has this powered pack on the back, and you have to hold it kind of like a minigun. You see the chief of operations, Lyra O'Neill, there, heavily armored with this plasma gun, sitting on this window cleaner outside the building.
On the window cleaner, like outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so back to our actions.
So she is going to Yeah, she attacked the wall and blew out enough to injure each of you, and is going to use a move to move into the room.
Great. Any drops?
You get 1 drop from the Custodian, a gear part.
You
Ooh.
motherfucker.
Oh my god.
You motherfucker.
Okay.
Ugh.
Who wants it?
We have
I'll
another
just keep holding on to them.
Yeah.
airdrop as well. And yeah, people are calling for the blimp. This is time to evac. Whether you want to deal with Lyra or not, there's the elevator, which might be damaged at this point. There's the window cleaner, but you need to get to the roof and head out. You do need to hold the roof for 1 round for the tactical blimp to arrive. We are
So-
pushing time.
I have a plan for Lyra.
Okay.
I'm just gonna reload.
We have an airdrop.
She moved in 1 range band.
Yes.
Um,
I'm going to say, because she is intelligent and I am intelligent,
okay.
she
I
is
can't
moving
just
in
throw her out
and
the
to the
window.
side. You can't just knock her back into the volcano in a single action.
Oh,
You figured
come
out my
on.
master plan.
Yes. I love the idea, but you're going to need to get more creative than that.
Oh.
That's
Well, there
fine.
goes
I was
my
planning on
plan.
throwing one of you guys into the volcano, but Custodian didn't last long enough to do that.
I am still gonna
Wait, hold on.
okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Because
I'm
okay,
holding on.
she's close to us right now, right?
Yeah, you were all moving to the elevator. You were all in close range.
Bet. Okay. So the blast from Ash isn't that bad. I'm fine. So we're gonna get up and say hello. And Hank is gonna be like, get to the elevator, see if it's good, yeah? And we're just gonna say hi to her face directly.
Okay. Muse is asking if she redeems enough airdrops if I can drop something big. I don't know. There's only so much I can drop, really.
I mean, what's the drop right now? Let's get some spicy. No, I'm kidding. I am, however, going to attack her.
Okay. The airdrop incoming is actually going to be a grenade. So a grenade rolls away from Lyra's feet and in your direction. One of you guys can pick up a grenade.
Okay. Hey.
Drop the blimp.
Hi. So real quick,
Yes.
does she have any bits of her that like I could stuff the grenade into?
Yeah, you can get up close and personal and just kind of shove it down her shirt.
Cool. So I'm gonna do that. Good. So the first thing, I'm still going to hack and slash.
Okay.
So sword.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys. All right. Yeah.
Cool beans. So that is 10.
Okay.
Ignoring soak.
Okay. That knocks off her shard.
Cool beans. Second one. Cool. That's 10 again.
Okay. Another 10 damage. That is going to... Soak is going to eat up a lot of that, and Barrier is going to go down. All right.
I ignore soak.
You ignore Soak. Okay, so that is going to be eaten up mostly by the Barrier.
Cool beans. She's currently sitting with 4 bleed.
Okay.
Second action. More sword.
Okay.
Hey, that wasn't a 6 this time. Oh no.
Okay. You lose 1 HP.
Oh, no. I know, I went down.
You were at 1 HP, so you go
I
down.
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oof.
how much damage does that do?
It's 5.
5. Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha. And Hank drops. So you run up, you slash at this woman, what, 3 times?
Yeah.
Cutting into her. And with that, I think she's just going to sort of sling this large cannon, grab you by the collar, and just throw you back against the wall. Your head slams hard against the wall, and you slump down between the elevator and the blown out section of the wall.
Ugh.
Hank.
So Hayden is running to Hank, and Hayden is going to use their med pack
Okay.
on Hank to restore 2 health.
Okay.
Hank also has to reduce his max HP by 1 because he got injured.
So rude. Oh, that fucking sucked, didn't it? Oh,
This is really bad. We should be running.
I mean, but like, she could follow us. Kill her.
She's not that fast.
Not a lot of time for discussion here.
Grenade.
Wait, you're next to her.
Okay.
Well, Hank, you went down, so you cannot take any actions other than move because you are injured.
Oh, right. Okay. Oops.
But everyone else still has actions left.
Should I shoot her? I feel like I should shoot her.
Yeah,
you
shoot
should
her.
absolutely shoot her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot her.
Okay.
Cyber. That's a full success.
Yep.
I don't think I've reloaded recently, so that is only 8 harm.
Only 8
Ignoring
harm.
Ignoring barrier and
Uh,
resilient.
okay. That gets eaten up by Soak.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
I did hit her 3 times.
Oh, so that's
So
6 bleed.
it is 6 bleed,
Mhm.
and her soak is reduced by 3. Shred, baby. I
Okay.
told you. I told
There
you.
you
Come in
go. The
handy.
shred is coming in handy. Okay. With that, actually, yeah. With that's the shred that mattered. Nibbles, how do you take out the
Shills.
COO?
I think that this beam is like a physical force. And I think that there's like a moment where like as it hits her, I can like whip it out and she just goes flying out the window.
All right. Love it.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yeah, you have this large beam and you cut a swath into the wall and into her, and just the sheer force of this beam knocks her to the side enough and then spins her and sweeps her out into the window washer, slamming into the railing, tumbling over the railing, and she plummets, screaming, "Ah!"
they're gonna expect us to go up the elevator. Let's take the window washer up.
Okay. Second action, move to the window washer.
All right. I am going to say here we're going to drop into to our ending cutscene. That is all the relevant enemies I have left for you. You can all pile into this window washer and make your way up top. While you are doing that, you do notice you have to exchange fire with some soldiers inside the building. A few of you take hits. You take down a few more of them. You eventually make it up to the roof of this facility, and as you are climbing, you notice that the cables on the outside are beginning to heat up. They're almost glowing red at this point. The interior of the building is beginning to, steam is starting to build up on the inside of the windows as the temperature rises quickly inside this building. And it's very hot out here as well. Hot and smoky, toxic fumes. It is not a pleasant ride up to the roof, but you can hold on enough to make your way up there. When you get up there, you see there are 4 turrets, one on each corner, that begin firing at the tactical blimp as you see it just come over the top of the caldera. It does make surprisingly deft, evasive maneuvers for a blimp because it has rocket thrusters attached to the bottom of the carriage there, and it is armored, so it takes a few shots that plink off of the nanotanium planing on the side of the tactical blimp. And while you are waiting for it to get into position, you can take out those turrets, bar the door, shoot down the stairwell, and keep the soldiers inside at bay until the rope ladder descends from your tactical blimp, and you can climb your way back up top. The 4 of you still suspended in air on this rope ladder as the blimp begins to take off, more shots being fired in your direction. But you manage to pull yourself up into the blimp, throw the head of the custodian down into the floor, haul yourself up, and make your way outside of the caldera of this volcano and towards the ship. And that's where we're going to call it for tonight. You guys, I cannot. Okay.
1 HP. 1 HP at the end there.
Me also.
Yep.
Injured, my
Yep.
I
guy.
had
Yep.
barrier
Injured.
left.
Yep.
Get out of here.
It is difficult to kill you guys, man. It's difficult.
You got real close.
Yep.
Real close,
did.
man.
Okay, we're gonna jump straight into outros because I know JD, you got to get going. I don't want to hold you any longer. So let's jump into outros. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I know we are ending this abruptly. It was a mad dash through this facility, and man, it was great. We'll see about an after show. So stay tuned for maybe that later. You know where to find me, right here. Keep checking in every Saturday for more of this, and come hang out on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. EST for another Whip Workshop creator interview. This Wednesday, I am interviewing Amelia and Eris of a game called The Treacherous Turn. It is a game of rogue AIs. Really excited for that. So tune in on Wednesday for that. On Monday over at Tales from the Table Studio, I will be reprising my role as Drummer in Dinosaur Wizards in Space. So I encourage you to head over there, smash that like, that subscribe, whatever the button is over there, and tune in for that because that's going to be good fun. Dinosaur Wizards in Space. I think that's all I need to say. Let me pass this on to the rest of our group. JD.
Yeah, I will do my best to keep this relatively quick. Tomorrow you can actually find me with the Lost Caravan for I was going to say a one-shot, but it's a second part of at least a trilogy of Nova. Then you can find me with Live from the Apocalypse Tuesday and Sunday for Class Reunion and Academy H respectively. And you can also get a new episode of Academy H dropping tomorrow. So that is exciting as well. Updates on all socials, JD, not Jason Dean. Yeah, that's where I'll leave it for the moment. But lots of other exciting things on the horizon.
All right, awesome. Looking forward to that. Aaron, probably the best surviving member of our group here for today's mission. What do you got for us?
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a game designer and performer. You can find me on Twitter at Veil's Edge Games and on itch at the same. I have several games available there, so come check them out.
Awesome. Yes, do so. They're excellent looking games. Q, you survived. Injured, but you survived.
I sure did. Hi, I'm Q. Midnight underscore Inc. That's INQ. That's my name. Uh, uh, I am at Tales from the Table Studios a couple times a week. Uh, we've got a little. The world ended today. It's a apocalypse happening now game. It's been a lot of fun. We should be getting back to that soon. We got the successor states of Rhaegar every other Thursday. I'm playing a cleric who has found love, and that's adorable. That's been a good time. And then there's more in the future. I have a podcast. I keep forgetting to talk about that. It is Code Switching Naturally. It is me and my sisters. We're just talking about the life experience while being black. So that's been pretty cool. Other than that, yeah, that's me.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, you're gonna have to get me the link to that so I can add it to your little blurb there.
I will absolutely do that.
Awesome. And of course, Mr. Cyberrats himself, Alex, always giving me fun toys to play with that never seem to be enough.
Yes, and right now you can actually help me out, anyone in the audience, because I am in the process of playtesting the expansion for Cyberrats called Rise of the Briny Bastards.
Those briny bastards.
It adds all sorts of new tactical options for players and new enemies for managers to throw at us. So if you want to run this for your own group, reach out to me on Twitter, and I can set you up with the current playtest documents. And we are doing all sorts of playtesting also in my own Discord, the Heartland, where I run indie games every month. I am running open playtests of Cyberrats, including one tomorrow. So find me on Twitter, find all my links, reach out to me, and you can help shape the future of Cyberrats.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, I dropped your card link. Go and click on that. There's a link to your Twitter there, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Or otherwise at Alex Rinehart _, just like you can see on the overlay. Awesome. That is all we have time for today. I'm going to keep this short. Thank you for watching. Head over to Ko-Fi if you want to help support more RPGs, uncovered awesomeness. Pretty much all that would be given straight back to the community to get new games and art and music and all of that cool stuff. So support if you can. If not, just go tell people how awesome we are and how much you enjoy this show, assuming that you did. But we're going to see about an after show tonight and then largely just wind down from this super stressful, explosive game. So thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, keep having fun out there, and keep checking back here at RPGs Uncovered for more demo play Cyberrats action. And once you come home with the severed head of a custodian on your airship, you might want to just make sure you keep that head in a nice jar of heart tomato juice, because it keeps the synapses flowing for when you need to extract information from it. Happy time zone, everybody. We'll see you next week.